Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Behind the Mask podcast with Musha, of course. Today, episode 4. First of all, guys, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. It's a new year, 2025. A lot of opportunities coming up. Be ready, stay humble, take all the opportunities you will get. Guys, for this episode 4, the first show of 2025. We have the one and only Mr. Fivves, Schmidt, on the podcast. Guys, we are going over some questions from Who's Next to NSL. Everything you need to know for 2025 about Fivves. Guys, I hope you like this one. Yeah, I couldn't wait longer, guys. It's 2025. Let's jump into the episode. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Behind the Mask. Happy New Year's, everyone. It's a new year, 2025. I hope everyone is ready for it. Today, 2nd of January, I'm sitting down with the one and only Fivves. Fivves, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. What up, guys? Happy New Year from my side as well. Hope you are all doing well.
May all wishes come true, all goals you set. It's a new year, a lot of opportunities, so let's go. Fives, did you enjoy New Year's?
Oh, absolutely. I just came back, spent some days at my parents' house, met some of my old friends, and just took a break from all the airsoft and speeds of world, which was definitely needed after last year. Was a crazy year for sure.
It was a very crazy year. It was a nice year. It was a big year, to be honest, for some players, for some leagues.
I think in
Um,
general for the whole
yeah,
game.
for the
I
for the
mean,
whole speech of the world,
yeah.
it's growing, it's growing, it's growing, and it's just a new year for airsoft to grow even more. We are right now on a good track, so 2025 will be a nice year. To be honest, we will see.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can't wait for the competition to start. I mean, it's still like 2 months kind of
yeah,
still left before the first NSL event kicks off, but
it's
I see
coming.
that I see the teams already training, the layout is out already and first like the shitstorm. I mean, that's already the first point. The shitstorm was so big and now I get so many messages. The layout is so nice and it's
Yeah,
way better than before. Have you played on it
I
already?
have played on it a couple of times. Yeah, the only thing what I'm saying, if you can't, to be honest, if you can't play the new layout, you're just an old man, slow old man.
Yeah, that well, I agree. I agree. But
Just adapt.
we built the sport obviously for a younger generation, and if you're older, then you have to shine on with other qualities, you know.
Yeah.
If you're a good off-break shooter, you still have a chance, and you might not be the pistol runner going to the front, but that's actually something I'm very excited to see about. Like all the pistol plays in the snake, and maybe we see a matter like three pistols, two rifles when you really
Yeah,
need to go,
it's
like
gonna
more than we
be
did
a
before.
yeah, it's gonna be a very fast-paced gameplay this year. It's gonna be you have to be ready from the when the game starts. It's
Yeah, that's go time.
Yeah, it's go time, and I'm curious. It's gonna be a nice year. I think we have some more teams, of course. Starting the year 2025 with 9 teams, if I'm sure.
In the Pro Series, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's already an improvement. So yeah, I'm very excited for it. We have some. We have now two USA teams coming over.
Yes, East Coast Energy and Murder Inc.
Yeah.
Will come over from the States, and then we have Delta promoted from last year Challenger,
Hmm.
and then the seven teams from last year, of course.
Yeah. I'm curious about DSD, of course, and Challengers team. It's we're gonna see if they woke up at globals.
I
They
think
had
they did,
they stand
honestly.
there they stand there man. To be honest, they did a very
Absolutely.
great job, but it's a different kind of gameplay. It's
Well, it's also like consistency, and I think the one thing you cannot um mistaken about globals that was for all the European teams the first time playing at Extreme.
Mhm.
And for the Pro Series and also for globals, we are back at Real Strike, which is for most teams their home field.
Yeah, it's a big advantage.
So I think it will play out completely different. Like whatever happened at globals, I think it doesn't matter and doesn't say anything for
No,
next or for this year.
no, it's a brand new year, so we're gonna see. It's a lot of challenges, a lot of yeah, things we have to deal with. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a new year, new beginning. It's already for me, I think, my third year starting with Hakai. So it's my
Yep.
fifth. It's my fifth year in the speeds of the world. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you're also becoming one of the older guys.
yeah, but the thing is, I'm still young. Right now, I'm 23. So
But there are people like with starting with 18 in the States. It's even more crazy, like playing with
yeah,
12, 13, 14. That's crazy.
I had my other sport before. It's
Yeah, I know, I know.
I found it late, but I'm still happy I found it. It's kind of an extreme sport.
Oh, it
So
definitely is. And we are still a young sport. I mean, we
mhm,
still like it's still possible to get to the top quite not easy, but like work and obviously some talent needed. But
mhm,
I mean, Delta is the best proof of it. They just started in 22, no, in
mhm.
23. They started in
Yeah.
23, played last year, and now they're in the Pro Series. Like in 2 years,
Mhm.
they from zero to Pro Series.
Yeah, they improved a lot, and they want to get more out of their games. They really improved just by adding some key players. To be honest, like the first year, it was like they were always there, always.
Yep.
They were always fighting hard, but on the end, they never came enough to win a game. But they were all time at reels. Like when there was an event, it didn't matter. And the second year, this year and
Yeah, they
challengers.
reap the rewards for that. And I think
Hmm.
that is a very good message that goes for every team, especially for the new teams. You just have to be there. Just play
Yeah.
every tournament you can play, train as much as you can, play pickups, play with better players than you. Ask them questions, like just get into that. It's a normal learning process. And when you go through that, and yes, of course it sucks when you lose and lose and lose, but there will be a time where you lost so much, and then there's a new team, and then you're gonna kick that new team around.
Hmm.
And from there, it goes better and better and better for you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah. It's just nice.
I mean, it's the same story in a way with Hakai as well. Like
Mhm.
when you started, like no one expected anything from you, and now you're a contender obviously for the big titles and play in the top and have decent finishes and give everyone a run for their money. So,
Yeah. No, to be honest with Hakai, we are training hard. We are just getting everything done and getting the synergy done. To be honest, it's the key factor to improve and get games like we did on globals or we did in the Pro Series this year. This year, we ended up two times out of the three events on the third spot. Second event was a big fuck up, but
but it was also by margin. I remember
yeah,
that like you lost all 5 matches, but it was like so close. It could
it
have
was very
like
close. We just made too
completely went
many
the other way.
mistakes. We were just making too many mistakes. That's the thing. Hmm.
And on that level, you get punished for that. And I think that's also a thing why everyone is so excited about the Pro Series. And I still believe that's after Nations Cup the best thing we did with NSL, like format wise,
Yeah.
because it really gives you that opportunity to play consistently against the best. And where
Hmm.
every mistake, every fuck up, every penalty, like it will be punished. You don't get away with much there, really.
No, and it's the complete format, to be honest. Like playing with all the rules and just all the lessons you have to learn to become one of the players.
Yep.
I talked with Tristan about this too. They lost an event just by early buzzers, and it's like a lesson every team has to learn to become one of the teams. And I'm just like by exploring the format, you will
Yep.
learn more and more and more, and you will learn to play with the rules. I'm gonna say so. No, Pro Series 2025 is gonna be a good year. It's
Absolutely.
it's
I
an
fully
exciting
agree.
year. So no, I'm ready for it. Fives. We are going to jump in the first question. As I ask everyone, Fivves, how did you get into airsoft? Where did it all start?
Well, actually, it started in 2012, 13. I was like 15, 16 at that time. And I watched videos from a German videographer who went at that time on airsoft fields and filmed third person pretty much the same as Dex is doing.
Yeah.
And he uploaded them on his YouTube channel. And that was before people like Novrich or Silo or Level Cap were running with the GoPros and the contours, really. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the only good footage that existed out of airsoft, and I don't know, I found it, a friend showed me, I can't remember, and it just
It
yeah
clicked.
it clicked, and it's stick with me like ever since. Like I wanted my own airsoft gun, and then I got one. I was 17, so I was technically not allowed to have one. So a
Oh,
friend bought me one, and we just played in the backyard, which also super illegal here in Germany. And from there, pretty fast, we went to like legal skirms outdoors, and I did
yeah.
that for some years. And then in 2017, I found the SYG videos, and for me, that was the next click. You know, it
Yeah.
was just like fast paced, run down enemies, just shoot them. And then the
Enjoy
more
yourself just by,
exactly,
yeah,
and
the
just
fast pace.
and just be better, you know, just like have a
Mm-hmm.
faster reaction time, just be on point with your shots and all that stuff. And there were no tournaments here, so I got super lucky that there was a field opening up in early 2018,
Mm-hmm.
close to where I lived. And that's also like the first video on my YouTube channel is from that field. That was the very first round. I bought like the dye mask and dye elbow pads
The
and
the the
stuff like
full
that.
the full speed of
The
setup.
full speed soft kit.
The
And I
the
was the
die
only
mask.
guy there. And
Uh,
after like in lunch break, I got so many comments like, "Oh, you're from paintball," or "What the fuck is this?"
uh,
Some people even left because they couldn't handle it, and I was bad at that time, obviously. But for me, it was like this is a complete new way of playing ass because I had
yeah,
played like
it's exploring the field. It's a fast pace running down enemies, like you say, just sweeping rooms.
yep. And
So
I did that for like half a year, and then we founded Speed QT, which was like a ripoff of Speed QB in a way, and we played it in the
you're the first European speed QB.
Well, it was not officially SpeedQB because we didn't have the name rights, but we just named it SpeedQT to avoid any issues.
Yeah. Okay.
And we played it on a kill house field. It was an old tennis field, like
Okay.
three tennis courts, and they had those kill house types of yeah, not bunkers but houses there. And we just put a
Mm-hmm.
center flag there, played 5v5. If you're out, you're out. But there was like not a their field dominance thing. Like it was literally in skirm field,
Yeah.
but we played it there and made some videos about it and gained some traction. And then leading over, like I went to Great Britain to
Mm-hmm.
visit Max Swain at that time already.
Oh, and what year are we right
That's
now?
end of 2018.
Okay.
So I went there, just played some skirms because there were no really tournaments, and
Mm-hmm.
the field we had there just like closed because they wanted to build new buildings on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there, and then all of a sudden I heard SpeedQB is coming to Europe, and was like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" And then it
Yeah.
turned out that it was Bert who brought it over,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, through some connections, I was invited. I didn't know Bert at that time. I played on White Mountain a couple of times, but I never actively met him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, through some connections, I went to the first test day of the SpeedQB field in Bunde. And there's one iconic picture with like some of the old Second to None members and some other Germans that already
Yeah.
stopped. Kenny's on there as well.
Like
Um,
this is the very first Speed QB event.
yeah,
I
it was
think
even
even
before the event.
okay.
There was like
It was
the
just like a
opening.
training.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
just like
Oh,
a
an
training.
opening. Damn.
So I was literally the very first one to play on the SpeedQB field with
Okay.
like, as I said, the couple of other guys. And that was mind blowing. That was like the next level because I always wanted a mirrored field. I always wanted to have like those small bunkers so
Yeah,
you
you
can
always
work
dreamed of the USA style.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the level how Bird already built that first arena was like crazy compared to what even in the US was happening at that time. Like they also just had like pellets screwed together and
Hmm.
like just make it work. It's just some old tires, and he had proper dimensions of the bunkers.
Oh,
They were all painted black. SpeedQB everywhere, and also I remember I ordered my first SpeedQB belt. I was one of the first ones to have it in
yeah.
Europe, and I paid double the price. I paid like $60 to $80 for the belt. Then I paid the same for shipping and the same for import. Like it was
Uh,
almost 250 euros or something, because you couldn't get them. And all of a sudden, Bird had them all, and it was like heaven, at least for a while. And yeah, then indeed we played in May the first SpeedQB event, and ever since I pretty much never missed the tournament.
yeah. Yeah. And at that time, what team were the first Speed KB event? At what team were you playing? Already ATSB
Yeah,
or?
yeah, I only played with ATSB.
Oh
That
yeah.
was my
When when
only
when did ATSB actually started? Like
as a
in
team
this?
into 2018.
Okay,
But
so
it was more of a like we
speeds of
started, yeah, it's just like some people like
CQB,
every exactly like just
uh,
fucking some guys up.
just
And
having fun at the CQB field.
then we, as I said, we played those tournaments on those indoor tennis field.
Hmm.
That was already under the name ATSB. And I tried to like reach out to people and spread the words of Speedsoft and like get more people into that. And then indeed we started under the name ATSB on the SpeedQB event and every event that followed after.
Yeah, yeah. But sadly enough, the story of ATSB finished, but you're still alive. You're
Well, it
still.
is. And I think honestly that's a struggle. Like I always joke with Super from Terranites about
Yeah,
it because he's also like Terranites also a very old team. But it's
yeah,
also
of course. They were they at Bunde at the time? No,
I
or
think yeah, I think Super played with another team.
yeah.
But Terranites came like one or two tournaments after, I
Hmm.
think. Um, but they obviously struggle with it, and you know the struggle. Everyone who runs a
Yeah.
team knows the struggle that you want so much, but you need reliable people, and finding
Hmm.
those reliable people is super hard.
The thing
And
is, if having a team, you just have to accept people leaving and choosing different paths in their life. Even with Hakai, we saw it with Seven Sins at one time. People wanted to improve. Some people just wanted to leave and just take a different path. And then it's just can the team hold it on? And it's always like a big struggle of finding new players and yeah, making a good off season. But on the
and
end, people have to understand, like you say, you have to you have to rely on them, and you have to make sure they are willing to do it. Because
absolutely. And with ATSB, we always had some highs where we played very good. That was after a time where we trained a lot and like we made it work. And then obviously you saw the results. And then there were times where we like just got beaten by the weakest teams because yeah, I had a bunch of new players on the team, and it was horrible. And obviously I was always super ambitious and super like competitive, and
Mhm.
finding people with the same mindset isn't easy, especially in the
No,
beginning where it was not really a sport. I mean, it's still not officially a sport, but now people treat
are
it way
more yeah are seeing it as a sport, but it's not like
exactly.
yeah. I
And
understand.
so it's always hard to find those people, but at the time we had quite a big name. It was like well known. I had good connections to New Zealand, to Australia, to the United States, of course, to Great Britain. So people knew the team. The name was kind of big, even though we never won anything.
Like, what is
And
the biggest thing you achieved with ATSB?
that was the NSL opening tournament, the second place on Gran Canaria.
Yeah, and was the second place.
Yes, so we
Okay,
only lost
but
against second to none in the finals.
then to be honest, I think at that time it was the strongest team, and it was Still, it's a different thing playing in Gran Canaria, with not all the Europe teams. Of course, there were Spanish teams and different kind of teams. So no, still second place. Nice thing.
Yeah. But then like I played also the first NSL season.
Hmm. I
But
saw.
there, yeah, the ATSB was not performing that well because some players left, and we just had a core team of like 4 to 5 players, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was impossible to do. Um, but you have that kind of a big name, and Terra Knights had this off season the same issue. They have a very big name. They just came second in globals, like second best team
No,
in the world.
the thing is, Terranets is very consistent. To be
But they
honest, this
always they
year, yeah,
always have to take new players, and that's the issue. That's my point. Like I just want to encourage players, even though they don't have that much experience, just reach out, even if it's a pro team, you know? Like just fill those teams up. Everyone is so eager to bring his own team, his own name to the top. But I think we are getting at a point where those teams, especially in the Pro Series, are established. Like all of you become type of brands. Like
yeah,
Hakai is a name, second to none is a name, East Coast Energy. Those are names you recognize and you remember, and they have a history. And yes, some players might leave, but players always should look up to go there. And
yeah, and
if they
even
get asked,
and to be honest, even when you even look at Xavier, Xavier is also running for a long time. They fused in
yep,
the time with RNV, so still, some teams can go on for years, and some teams just die. It's can you learn the lesson? Can you find new players? Can you find new potential? Because it's still a different thing. We are not with so much guys, to be honest. It's
yep, it's
guys are having a team too. So
yep, that's true. And when you think about, we are also now entering a phase where, at least in the very top, some of the teams get very good sponsor deals,
mhm.
which is like unheard of, like in that variety, in that like overall, like 2 or 3 years ago. And you only get that if you have a big name and if you can show some results and if you can show some consistency.
Yeah,
So
if
it
you can
makes
just
sense.
be a brand also. It's like you said,
Exactly.
it's not only a team, it's also a brand. If you can show yourself and show off to the world, it's a big thing. So no, like even Hakai, we have great connections with all our sponsors. And it's yeah, just keep them close and make the right deals and be friends. Don't think like you can get anything. You have to
Exactly.
work, you still have to achieve some things, like even we, Hakai. Still this year, we ended up 2 times on third place. So we showed something to our sponsors. We put them on the top three. We put them on the podium. So it's you have to show you have to give something too. So
Yep. And I think that's why it's so important to keep a name alive and not change your name every year, because then there's no consistency and there's no face behind it. You know, now Hakai people know now, but if you would rename your team every year, it's like who? Like we
yeah.
don't know them. Why would you? Well,
they
why
they
would
only
you?
yeah, they only know the players.
Exactly. But
So
then reaching out to companies, they also might not know the player. So it's like, and that's, I think personally, out of my own experience in the earlier days and what I still see happening, that people don't understand it in the big mass. That people still feel like, yeah, I don't want to leave my team because they are my friends, or I want to
no.
go
At
the
the,
path with them.
on the end of the road, you still have to choose for your own personal ideas and opinions. So if you want to improve, at one point you have to choose for another team, and
Yeah.
it's just the finding your own way to the top.
I think a
Uh,
positive example is Hyperj. You had him last time on
mhm.
your podcast, I
Yeah,
think. He
definitely.
was completely new. Like I played with him on the opening day of the German speed
Yeah,
field,
Mr. S.
like Mr. Airsoft exactly, and he never played. And then like 2 weeks later or something, he was a tryout for Terra Knights, and
Yeah,
he played for
he
Terra
was going
Knights.
full airsoft.
And now he's playing for second to none. Like he did the exact right move, you know. He saw that he has potential, that he wants to commit, and just ask, okay, who's looking for a team? I want to play pistol next year. I want to learn.
Mhm. It's all everyone needs to choose for that on the other road. Like for me, even when someone asks me, for me it's different. I have my own team. I created it, like you. We can't move so easily, or something needs to happen.
Yep.
But on the end, yeah, if you get an offer, think about it. And on the end of the road, you will still see what you can do. So just
But it's
find your own
also
way.
exactly, and it's also a thing that teams have to respect if they have a very talented player, but their team level is quite low. I mean, if
Hmm.
you're just a new team now starting to play Challenger, let's say in this year, but you have a very talented player and he gets asked and spotted by a pro team and he wants to move, don't be angry on that guy.
No,
Just support him on the way, you know?
yeah,
And the things he will learn, he might will teach you in training because you still can train even though
yeah.
he's on a different team.
You have to be happy for your players, and it's even with me. From my team, yes, he chose to go to another team, but on the other road, if he is 100% sure to make this move, and he explains to me for like my own improvements and personal improvements, yeah, why not? Do it. If you think that's the better way, it's your choice. You need to choose it, and I'm not the person to how I need to say it
Yeah, like
to
trash talk or like
yeah.
make them feel bad for their decision
Hmm.
or something.
You need to be happy for your players, and it's even nicer in a few years if they are playing on some other teams. You can even see them become better than you because
And
they took
eventually
yeah
and
because
eventually they
they
come back.
hmm
You never know, you know? And that's something what I see gets better and better overall. But every now and then I still like come across this mindset, and I think it's a pity that people are scared or don't want to hurt their OG team's
hmm
feelings, and the OG teams might get toxic when a player wants to leave for another team, even though it doesn't require beef, you know, like a professional sport, you have transfers, and that's what happens in the soccer world, for example, like all over the place.
hmm
And no one is toxic about it because it's just business, and obviously
yeah,
the sport
it's
is not
just
there
business.
yet.
Still, with us, it's not business, but on the end,
But
yeah.
that's where at least I'm aiming because that's still my biggest goal. Like I want to see people getting paid to play at the highest
Hmm.
level of NSL. I want to have prize money. I want to play in a stadium, literally, like not just an arena, but a full stadium,
Hmm.
like a basketball stadium or something. Like that is my dream, and it might not come true in the next 5 years, but who knows, in 20 years, I
Yeah.
definitely see that happening, or maybe 10 years already. I don't know. Like everything goes so fast.
Yeah, everything can go fast, and with this world, yeah, all social media, all everything. From one day you can be just poor, and on the other day you're the richest guy on the world just because
Yep.
of a stupid video. To be honest,
Well, let's hope that our videos get a lot of views because
yeah,
then
the
it
overshooting
benefit all of
gets
us.
a lot of views.
Oh, that's true. The spicy kangaroo. That's I
The
think one
spicy
of the most
kangaroo
most watched videos of NSL. That's for sure.
was. Yeah. They need to be happy when you see the video, and you need to be like surprised, and you need to feel like I want to do this. I want to, yeah, I want to see more.
Yep.
So, and with the overshooting, yeah, it's the best opinion. So, fives. Like you said, you ended ATSB, but at one point you made this decision to switch over to NSL. Can you um, explain me a little bit more the story behind why you took
Yeah.
this decision? And on the end, do you have any regrets? Tell me.
So it actually started by the end of 2021. We just played this BQB Pro Division with a couple of teams. It was still COVID time, so there were only like 5 or 6 teams playing in that league, and but the level was getting there. and the format with the flag in the middle, like we changed it already a little bit, or it was changed. I was not part of that. I was just a player.
Hmm.
And there was some friction. SpeakQB opted in a different way than what we did here, like as a collective. So it was not just Bird, it was like all the mentality of the players here was different to what SpeakQB had in mind. So it was just
Hmm.
not fitting anymore. So one day was like, I don't know, November, December of 21. Bird called me and I was not that close with him. I obviously knew him and we've been to Italy together, but it was like, yeah,
No.
nothing else really.
Hmm.
And he said, I have a crazy idea. I want to create my own format, completely new league, completely new name, no more SpeakQB. And I said, okay, that's sick. Let's think about it. And we figured out that we should create a board out of the team captains from like the most experienced and best teams.
Yeah. And
Um,
consistent teams.
yeah, at that time. So Didi was in there from Wolves, Chief from SN was in there, Zypa was in there, Hilke was in there, and also
Jan.
Yorick, Jan from the Reapers was in there, and some more guys. Yorick was in there because he's obviously a very smart person, and as a referee, he had like
Hmm.
the perfect opposite view of what the players are saying. And yeah, then Bird just gave us pretty much free hand, just said like, let's talk about it, and we
Yeah.
really
Let's sit
went
down and cook something up.
exactly. And so we met online always. I recorded the meetings, I still have them, and we went really deep into like how a game works. And we analyzed how a SpeakQB game works. So it was
Yeah.
always the race for the flag, then the flag is taken, then it's TDM.
Yeah.
With paintball, like what NXL plays at the moment, it's also TDM.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a buzzer, but it's not really that important. It's not as important and like central as it is with NSL. So we made like some diagrams and like laid the like literally draw to understand that how it flows.
Yeah.
And then we just went talking, talking, talking. How could we fix that? And then we had the idea that how about flag possession? How about we start with the flag? And from there, Yorick, I remember that, had like the full click. You weren't like, okay, let's make zones, and you run into the zones, and the back is your touchdown. And I remember like naming that episode of our meetings
Yeah.
American Football with Guns, because that was literally like what we had in mind. And
Yeah. Just
obviously,
running in zones and attacking the other guys and
and
defending.
and as I said, Bird gave us like a um pretty wide range of what we should do and what we should come up with. But when we told him, he was like immediately, okay, this is it. Let's fine tune it because he's obviously a big American football fan,
Hmm.
and he immediately understood like what we wanted to do with that. And from there, obviously, we figured out. But yeah, if you run and if you kill the last guy, like there needs to be something like a buzzer, but the technical solution wasn't there. Okay, then we need to create this, and this would prevent the flag being like always in the bag because you kind of
Hmm.
need to bring it to the front, otherwise you're not getting to the breakout wall.
Hmm.
And from there we completely built that. So all of this happened in like end of 21, beginning of 22, and then beginning of 22 we had like in March or April the first like NSL tournament in Real Strike with the new rules,
Yeah.
with the NSL rules. And actually, Nations Cup was then around the corner quite fast, and it was also like a yeah side idea we had because we saw SpeakQB doing those limited class,
Yeah.
and
It's
we
like another big event. It's a different pace.
yep, and we said okay, let's just play by our nationalities because we
Yeah.
have so many countries here in Europe. It's quite easy. I mean, we have Belgium, French, German, Dutch teams, anyways, British
Yeah.
teams,
Europe
Spanish
is
teams.
big.
um, they're all playing anyways with us, so let's just make teams and let's have them playing for their nation. And we never anticipated that it would like completely blow off because now it's the most viewed event. It's the most anticipated event. People are traveling literally from the other side of the planet
Yeah,
to play at Real Strike
it's it's it's
Nations
a,
Cup.
it's a big event nowadays. Like, how many teams were there last Nations Cup?
Last Nations Cup were 11 teams, but
Yeah.
obviously we merged Wales and England into Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
The year before we had 12 teams, but we had four continents last year.
Now with South Africa and
Yep.
USA. Yeah. Now Asia.
That's that's hard. Obviously we try to like go out a little bit there, but their fields are usually extremely small.
Hmm. They
Um,
don't have the money and the place to make it.
yep,
It's yeah. Here it's more yeah. We more it's not so much crowded to how I need to say it. We have more place. It's a
yep.
little yeah. It's different. So
But definitely I wanna or would be amazing if we can get a team from Asia.
mhm.
Um, I don't know, Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, they all have strong speedsoft communities. That would be crazy. But yeah, we will see. We will see. But I was still playing at that time, so I played also with the
You
team
still
game.
played the first year, right?
Yeah, so in 22 I was still playing because the committee was more of a, like in the background.
Hmm.
Um, and I
Just
played
let's
all.
see and try for 1 year. Like,
Well, it was not obviously also not like that old. I'm 27 now.
hmm.
And I retired with 25, so that was still like in my good days.
Hmm.
Um, and obviously, I never really had the intention of like quitting. It was not like, yeah, after the year I'm gonna quit. It just was a process, and unfortunately, ATSB kind of had no future. Like I was left with two or three players, and
Hmm.
I was so done with like
All
all
the
the
bullshit.
rework and like then getting completely new beginners in and explaining them how to hold a gun and where to shoot. It's like very draining. So what we spoke earlier about, that was kind of the downfall. So I was like playing with the thought of quitting ATSP, like just dropping it. I also played the last Real Strike tournament in 22, was like a CT Cup, the Real Strike Cup with Speeds of Italia.
Yeah,
Together with Rex, we played for them because we just couldn't get a team together with ATSB.
you still played against me. It was the first event of Hakai. We played the
Mm.
quarterfinals.
Oh yeah, and we smoked you guys easy.
Oh,
Um,
we lost. It was we need to learn a lesson.
yeah, we gave you that lesson for sure. And then that was the last event of 22. Obviously, COVID was still like lurking around, and no
Hmm.
one knew if it was like over-ish at that time. And then by the end of the year, end of October, there was the announcement that or that NSL is gonna go to Sacramento to the States. And yeah, Bird wanted to create two teams or like have two European teams there. And first I said, okay, yeah, HSB will go. But then it turned out that pretty much no one could go.
No,
Same for the Reapers. They wanted to go. Also was second to none. Not all of them could go. So Bird said, okay, let's make just two mixed
let's
teams.
just merge together and we will see what can happen.
So then we talked through, and there were a lot of guys from American guys that had no team. And
Yeah, like Raven played with you at the time.
exactly. And so Bert asked me if I would be open to play with them, to guide them. Um, so I took Rex and we just played with people that we never met before, and we play second. Obviously, all the other teams never played NSL before. That made
Hmm.
it a little bit easier. But it was an amazing event, and it was also my last NSL tournament. And after that, I announced that ATSB
Not
will be
there
done.
anymore. Yeah.
And it just took like 10 minutes. I got so many. I could probably started with almost every team. Everyone asked me. But what they didn't know was that Bird also asked me at that time if I would like to join, not full time, but like as my hobby full time
Yeah.
for the 23 season, because that was also a full season at America. Um, that was also a season where we had Spain. Raptor was there
Yeah.
as a field,
Oh,
and we had
and
Real Strike.
2022 was a big year. There was a lot of traveling.
Yes, and so he needed like people that he can trust and who love the game and understand the game. So I said yes because I saw that as an opportunity and also
To still
as
be in the sport and do something more for the sport.
exactly
So,
because that's also like ever since my like my theme or my goal to make a sport in which I would love to play in. And
hmm
that's really what drives me and what like leads my decision making. Um, that I would really like to play in the Pro Series. That I think it's
yeah,
cool if you
definitely. I can.
qualify in Challenger, that you then advance to the Pro Series, that you then qualify for the Globals and all that, like how everything goes is always, or I view that always from the perspective of would I like to play in it? And
Mhm.
if I would, or if I say yes, I want to, I would pl like to play in it, then I will execute it. So 23 was a big learning experience for me. Obviously, a
Mhm.
lot of traveling indeed. It was like one day we came on a Tuesday, we came back from Rhode Island, I believe, and then the Wednesday morning we had to leave for Spain to host a tournament there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, traveling is fun. Um, and it was like I was still working in my regular job next to that. So it was like kind of a in-between year learning year.
Yeah.
Um,
Was still
and
a normal life, but having another hobby.
yep. But it was hard for me. Obviously, I'm fully committed and I was already back then. And that's a story that no one actually knows other than two or three people. At the Globals in 23, it was the first ever Globals.
Yeah.
And I was just like tired because I wanted to do a lot of stuff. And obviously with Bird being in there, but his main priority is Monk, so he always just had the sport next to it. But
hmm
every decision needed to go through Bird, and I had an idea, but it took some time until like we figured something out. And it was very frustrating because I wanted to move things forward, but he just obviously didn't have the capacity to do both things
hmm
because Monk itself is
he still has two brands. So
yeah. So that was hard for me to always like wait and like until
ask for
something happens.
permission.
Exactly. And obviously back then even was as you said a crazy year with all the traveling. Um, so I told him like I honestly don't want to do that anymore. Like I did my part and I could still like I'm still kind of young. I could still go to a team and play with them and
hmm
even if it's just like helping teams that travel, like what I did with Pizza of Italia, and just have an easy time. And that was kind of a shocking moment for him. He didn't expect that because then he told me that actually he wanted to offer me that I can run the whole show, that he wants to step back from it
hmm
um, and to focus more on Monk. So he needed someone to make the decisions for NSL, and I didn't expect that. So then it took me like 1 or 2 weeks to figure that
Really,
out.
really decide if you want this. So
Yes, and then I said yes, I want to do that, and that obviously led to last year to 24,
hmm
which also was a big learning thing. But
now you were traveling on your own.
yeah, well, we had to remove some traveling, and that's also what we do for next year. Like I'm not going over to America to
hmm
hosting the tournaments. It's just so expensive. It costs so much time. And I think now the fields there have a good understanding what it takes to run
And
an event.
base to yeah run an event.
Exactly. Like the investment is there now, and now
hmm
it's up for everyone to like work on it. Um, I had to learn some valuable lessons last year, more business-wise when it comes to sponsors. Unfortunately, we had one big name, one big sponsor that dropped
hmm
mid-season, which is I still don't understand why.
Yeah,
Um,
crazy.
and that obviously hurts you as a company, which NSL is. NSL is a company, and
Hmm.
obviously we want to do everything for the players, but we also have to pay bills and we have to
Yeah,
pay rent.
of course.
And even though last year was full time, I wasn't paid. So that was for me extremely hard. And you asked me if I would regret or one thing, like I don't
Hmm.
regret it, but I would do it differently with that knowledge.
Yeah,
Um, I would never ever like put so much work on myself that I did last year.
yeah,
With all the traveling, with all the real strike tournaments, I figured out that I was like every 2.5 weeks, I was somewhere doing a tournament last year for the entire year.
damn.
Um, so that obviously hurted my regular job. Um, and yeah, was just work-wise way too much. So if I could go back like 1 year ago, then I would change that. So I don't regret it because I learned so much from it now,
Yeah.
but that is something that I would
Well,
change. And
yeah.
that's also the reason why things will change for the next year.
Just do things different and
Yes.
learn out of the whole lesson you learned from being full in for 2024. Like
Yeah.
on the side, what job are you actually doing? Maybe
So
not a lot of people know.
well, the reason I had so much time available ever since is I'm a self-employed event technician or more
Okay.
media technicians. Like I go on expos and like on some even concert at times or
Yeah.
festivals. And I mainly build LED walls, like those
Okay.
huge walls,
Yeah.
and I can program them and all that stuff. And I'm self-employed, so I can choose
Just
when I
work
want to
whenever you
work
want. Yeah. Okay. Damn.
almost.
Nice.
And well, that allowed me in 23 and 24 to
Travel so much.
travel that much and to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
now NSL will become even more my full-time job, and I will
Mm-hmm.
still do that, but just on a side note in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's like
Definitely.
the positive development
Mm-hmm. You
we had.
establish something of all the work you put in. Like
Exactly.
now it's kind of not stepping down, but still doing it different, like you say. Just learning your lesson, taking things different, take it easy, no problems. So yeah,
Yep.
it's
And yeah, I'm still all in for this. And as I said, I have still high goals or high ambitions for NSL. And I think next year is gonna be crazy. I
hmm.
think Nations Cup will be mind-blowing. Again, I think the Pro Series will perform even better than last year. Globals will be
Yeah,
great.
definitely. Yeah, it will
Um,
be every event this year, but XL, to be honest.
yeah, we have also a lot of like not new but like different companies that we are
Hmm.
working with
Yeah.
or that we want to work with. I feel like now we sorted out with who we can work together and who's trustworthy and who's not.
Yeah.
That's also something like people always misunderstand. Like sometimes you just don't do business together, but you're still cool. And sometimes you're not cool anymore. But people
Hmm.
think, oh, this brand is not on the NSL anymore. They have beef. No, that's not true. It's just
It's
with like one or
it's
two
yeah.
two companies that it didn't work out. But sometimes it just doesn't make sense from a business perspective for one side, and then you stop. And I hope that people see that more, that it's not like not everything is about beef. Because obviously the airsoft industry is an industry as yeah any other like
No,
sport industry, like
it's
snowboarding or
people
something.
still have respect for each other.
Yeah,
For
it's more
sure.
professional than just throwing a post out on Instagram. Um, like those companies don't care. For them, it's regular work. Like
Yeah.
how you wake up every morning, go to your work. People there go
People are
to
no
their
different.
works. Yeah.
So
And so they don't have time and like the capacity for all the internet drama that from time to time appears with like Speedsoft.
hmm.
And I'm very glad that, or at least it feels like it, that we are all getting over that point in a way
Yeah.
that we're getting more professional, that we're getting more serious, and that it's more than just
I think to be
a
honest,
side thing.
And NSL already improved to a big thing. We are in USA consistently, and in Europe we have big teams. We have a great sport. We all take it seriously. So, and we have a lot of support. Like everyone sees NSL. People are watching. It's a nice thing. It's one of the biggest speedsoft leagues right now.
Yep.
Um, yeah, but on the end, yeah, it's yeah, it's gonna be nice. So I have one question, Fives, for like the next year, 2025. What will you do with NSL? Who will you be? What will your job look like?
I will overlook everything more.
Mm-hmm.
As I already announced in like the team groups
Mm-hmm.
and the other fields, they already know that I will not come over to run the events. It will be in general much more of a community thing that we
Yeah.
have to execute all together. That there will be, for example, one or two challenger teams reffing the pro series, and there will be one or two pro teams reffing the challenger series, and
Mm-hmm.
then like some other teams will ref the other tournaments that we have going,
Yeah.
and also to do the job that I did previously, like run the events, host the we call it host the
Mm-hmm.
games, like write down the scores and all that stuff, because it's very time consuming.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's also one thing that I always disliked about doing, like on a tournament day. I was the one with the least amount of time spent with people.
Mm-hmm. You
Like,
are always in your booth.
exactly, I met someone, yeah, 5 minutes, I have to go because
Mm-hmm.
I need to get the next heat going. And it's good or it's fine when you do it like once, but if you do it every tournament, it's
Getting annoying.
yeah, literally.
You
And
want to be out there.
exactly. And for me, it felt like by the end, of course, at Globals, there was the only one not enjoying Globals. Because obviously, when you're responsible for something, you have to take care that everything works. But I was also involved in like just running the games. So whenever there's an issue, like it all comes to me. Luckily, there we were at extreme, so all the extreme or field related issues I
Yeah.
could put to Lenny, and he would figure that out. But at Real Strike, it will also come to me. So obviously, I want to be there, but I want to have more of the overview. And whenever something is needed or something breaks or there's an issue with something, then I can step in and
Mm-hmm.
fill that gap.
Okay. So
Um, so I will still be around. You all will still see me, but it will not be that I'm gonna sit in the booth and like give you a first degree for overshooting or whatever. That will mainly not be me. It will only be me if like yeah, we couldn't find a guy or the guy is sick or whatever. But ideally, that is not my job anymore with NSL.
okay, so who's gonna be it for Pro Series? Do you already know?
Yeah,
It's
we
gonna
found some.
be
Yeah,
it's
we
gonna
found
be
someone.
consistent someone?
Yeah, we found someone who is completely unbiased, like who doesn't even know. Like I still need to, or we are in the process of learning the rules together
Okay.
right now. And as things stand right now, he will do the Pro Series events and the Globals and the Nations Cup. And then
Okay.
for the other events, we're gonna have teams filling up the booth, just as they also do with reffing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's what I mean when I say it will be a community
Oh,
driven thing because
yeah. If
I
you can't play like Pro Series, can't play in challengers, be around if you can. It's not like an
exact
obligation. Be around if you can. Grow the
exactly
sport together.
exactly
So
and I cannot buy referees. It's the next thing. I cannot buy referees on Amazon or in a Walmart or in a supermarket here. It just not it doesn't work. And even though we put out some good money, I believe it's still like very hard to get people in there.
yeah, not a
But
lot
without
of
ref,
people want to do it. I did
yeah,
it too, a full event. I like it. To be honest, it's a nice thing. It's okay, you're always out there, but just enjoy it. It's nice to just watch the games from another perspective.
yeah, I
So
was riffing before as well on the field, like in SpeakUB times, and I also always had fun, even though I know exactly how it feels, like getting shot into pieces all the time. But it's fun, and obviously you can make some fun of the players and all that stuff.
yeah, I know.
just but when you're actually playing, you might do this exact same stupid thing. But you learn a lot from it because you
Yeah.
can walk
You,
freely as the only person on the game and see like what lanes are people shooting. But it's yeah, so difficult to find people, and without referees, obviously we cannot play on that level. So it's in everyone's interest that there's always enough people willing to commit. And we tried it really hard the last 2 or 3 years, and we just came to a point where it's not possible to find external refs. Like we have
yeah.
one or two refs that know the rules very well, that know the sport, but are not playing. Everyone
Yeah.
else is playing.
It's
So,
it's a decision you have to make. Like, what kind of person are you? Are you gonna be a player, a coach, all the tasks in the whole sport? I mean, like in the speeds of the world, in the airs of the world. What person are you? Are you more be around because you like it and you want to grow it still, or are you gonna really play it? It's a big
yep.
decision to make. So, and to be honest, if I would ever retire, I'm gonna say I would still would be love to be around and
Yep.
just come to the events.
But
So,
that's all. I mean, that's the right and fantastic mindset. However, we still don't have that many retired people, and
mhm.
you can play, I don't know, 10 years if your body allows to on the highest level probably before you retire, and then you might choose to be a coach, which is also needed, but it's also something we don't have. Like our
It's
sport is so young that we
mhm.
don't have the retired players that are like 40 to 50, but who still want to be connected, that can do st something like refereeing, like coaching or whatever. It
Mhm.
just doesn't exist. Like if you're 35, you're one of the oldest players and you still can play.
Even now, like on every team, is there any team you can tell me that has a coach who isn't playing? Just USA, Nations
Yep.
Cup. Then it's Adam. But on the other end, never. It's always a coach, player.
Yep.
It's like for me, 2025, I'm gonna coach this year a challengers team, so it's gonna be different because I want to improve in my coaching skills.
Yep. Well,
So,
that's great.
but I
And
want to be around. I want to have some meat to train with, and I want to help someone if they can go with us. Why not?
yep.
And just to give them back, I just coach them for challengers.
I think
So
that is fantastic, and we saw it also starting really last year,
yeah, with
and it's good.
Sonny
Yeah,
and
Sonny
with
was one of the
Sipa,
first. Super does it for Limburg shotguns indeed, and that's so cool. Like that's literally what I also meant with like don't be toxic on each other, help each other, and
just
because
joke around, but
yeah,
still
yeah,
be real.
of course, but like this is exactly what makes us, or what is gonna make it, or what will make us a literal sport
Mhm.
if we can get like these structures in there. And
Definitely.
yeah, Nations Cup, you mentioned it, is always like the shining example because there most nations do have a coach and they train for that, and um, from there it will like wear down to like the pro teams, and from there to the
And
challenger teams and to the new teams.
mhm.
So I think it's a good development.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good year. But right now, it's NSL. I still have some more questions later on the interview. I want to talk a little bit more about you fives.
Yeah.
Like NSL, you were retired as a player. Now you are part of the organization. Um, but on the other hand, you still have a brand. Who's next? Can you tell
Yes.
me a little bit more about who's next? So why you came up with I want to build it. I want to build a brand. What was the
Yeah.
idea
So
behind it?
so that I had the idea for a long, long time. I have a very special music taste
Yeah, I know.
ever ever since. It's a very, very harsh music. It's very underground scene music.
Hmm.
Um, and it has very, very offensive and very deep and strong lyrics,
Yeah.
always connected to it one way or another.
Okay.
So I really like that style. Like I was ne
Everyone has his taste, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always liked that part, the style of it, but
Hmm.
I'm not re very talented in music itself. Like I cannot play an instrument, I cannot sing. So even though you might not call it singing, but even what they are doing, I cannot. So there was never really like I never went into the music side, but I
Okay.
still I'm still
Wanted
like
to.
connected to it in a way, and
Hmm.
I admire the designs, the graphic language of
Okay.
that music or that niche. And so I was always like, yeah, I like that. And I'm kind of creative on my own. I'm not a good drawer, but I can like give the idea and
Yeah.
have cool ideas.
Hmm.
So it never really matched. And well, then after I stepped back from playing, I obviously spent more time um, behind the scenes. I met people like Eric from Slaughter or Brandon from Full Outer Only,
Hmm.
who obviously have on that part an influence on me as well. And I was just thinking, okay, can I do? Like, how can I create something that's worth worth something, but that also fits to the hobby that or to the sport that I love and that I'm pretty much now committing my life to.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I was just thinking for years or for months about everything, and then I came
What
up with a
should you do?
name.
And
Yeah, it was
just
just yeah,
and
just like
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 who's next is the main thing about who's next. Is it like the patches you mean? Like, is this the main object of who's next,
I
or is it bigger? Is the merchandise? It's more a side subject,
no,
or
it's definitely not just patches. And that's why it took me some time because I wanted to do it like in a proper way. Like I'm a
yeah,
little like when I do something, I want to do it perfect.
yeah.
And it has to be
And
perfect
to be
to
honest,
satisfy myself.
I saw the prototypes of what you showed me in USA for all the patches. It's all handcrafted. It's a nice package you get for it. So
Yep.
it's the perfect package, to be honest.
Yeah, thank you. So obviously I love those patches, and one thing that always like I disliked about those patches, like you buy them and you just get a patch. And what is a patch? It's just like some embroidered or woven or printed material
Yeah.
on Velcro and you stick it on something. Like
Hmm.
the actual value is not there. Like it's cheap, it's like $5, €5 or whatever.
Yeah.
The actual value comes from it because people give it a value. But
Hmm.
if people give it a value and if they are like limited editions, if they are rare editions, if like there's some sort of hierarchy in it,
Hmm.
how rare an item is, I figured out that it was like not appropriate to have it like just here's a patch.
Hmm.
So I wanted to do something like a full package, a full story behind it, and that's how I
Okay.
ended up with the certificate because I thought it was cool that if you have like a batch of 25, that you know it's 25. So it's like more special than a batch with only 50, or a
Hmm.
batch with only 10 is like super rare, and maybe in 2 years, like you cannot get them anymore.
They
Um,
they
then you
don't
have a
exist
collector
anymore.
item, but
Yeah.
you can prove kind of the worth of it because it says it's 10 out of 1 out of 10 or it's 1 out of 25.
Hmm.
And yeah, I played around with a lot of stuff, how to make that certificate, and yeah, just figured that it would fit the style.
Hmm.
And the certificate is completely, as you said, handcrafted. I put the wax stamp on it. That's why every wax stamp looks different. That makes it unique.
Hmm.
And then yeah, I obviously um, through my time with NSL and with Bird are influenced by Monk, which has amazing package. Like all the boxes they do, they are great. So I
Hmm.
took a le lesson from there and figured out that I want to have something high value as just packaging. And then obviously I like holo stickers, or I did them for my Fives patch back in the days.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be
The Fang package. I still bought it back in the day.
I appreciate that. That's true supporter there. Um, and so I said, okay, let's make some stickers in it to give even more to the people. And the holo stickers are super nice and shiny, so I decided for that. And then the other big thing that I recognized doing myself or observed doing myself is when you buy a patch, let's say you buy a slaughter patch.
Yeah.
you put it on your patch wall. But then when it's new, you want to put it on your chest rig, on your belt, on your bag, on your plate carrier, wherever you have a patch space.
Yeah.
And then you come home and it's not on your patch wall. So what do people do? They buy two patches,
Yeah.
one for the wall, one for wearing.
Uh-huh.
But then you buy maybe half a year later a new patch, which is your new favorite patch. You're gonna take the old patch off, and then you have two patches on your patch wall, but you only need one on your patch wall because you're not
Mm-hmm.
wearing them. So it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And if you then make them limited, like I do with all of them, at least with the collector patches, then you would have two patches, and then you would have like one out of 25 and two out of 25. That
Okay.
makes no sense. So people
No.
would resell them, which is
For a higher
something,
value.
yeah, but not really, because then you have to buy two times, but you only should buy it once. So
Mm-hmm.
then I figured I spoke with a friend who's doing that for me, and we came across the acrylic glass, which you always get with a collector's patch of Who's
Yeah.
Next.
Okay.
And we said, okay, we're gonna make the same design that you buy as a patch and as the stickers, as the acrylic glass, same size, has
Okay.
Velcro on the back, and you can put that one on the patch wall.
So it's actually like kind of glass. Can you
Yes.
show? Do you have it with you?
Ah, yeah, I can grab one. Give me 1 second.
Yes.
This is from the Globals patch,
Okay.
which comes
Yeah.
out in a couple of days or weeks.
Okay.
I'm waiting on the patches. And this still needs to get the Velcro on the back.
Okay. So
But
it's actually kind of like a plexiglass.
yeah, like
But
from this
okay.
side,
Damn. Shit. It's nice. It looks nice.
and it has a protection layer. Otherwise, the
And that's actually the one you have to put on your patch wall.
exactly, like you
Okay.
can obviously put that on your belt, but it might get shot into pieces.
No.
Like it's not flexible. That's why you have your patch.
Yeah.
And if you then retire your patch from active wearing, then you
Mm-hmm.
can retire this one or just leave it on your wall, whatever you want. But this is just like a placeholder for
Mm-hmm.
your patch wall at home. So it
So
gives you also
everything
this.
is perfect.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, nice. So actually, you get a patch, you get the plexiglass, you get
Yep.
some stickers, you get this oh, sorry.
Certificate.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, damn. So no, actually, it's a nice package. And to be honest, I love the shirts. It's they are comfy. It's nice for gym, and yeah, it's my trademark, overshooting. So
Yeah,
I would
I
definitely
know
buy
that
it.
that one fits you perfectly.
Yeah,
And it's the same story with the shirts. Like I also started with the shirts, and everyone can like order online some shirts and like have something printed on them. But obviously, I'm due to my music and style taste, I
yeah.
just like oversized baggy stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
was looking for like oversized t-shirts,
Okay.
and I like the heavy duty fabric of them. So that's why I went for these. And still, I just wanted to add another layer to it
Mm-hmm.
because, as I said, everyone can print something on a shirt, but I just really wanted to brand it as a Who's Next shirt. Like, yes, it's a t-shirt, but it could be or it should be your favorite t-shirt or
And
your dream shirt.
you can see it's made by Fivves. It's your
Yes, I
type of
print. I
stuff.
yeah, I print them all by myself.
Hmm.
Rex helped me a bit with that, but it's all like goes through my hands pretty much.
Okay.
And like one of my favorite feature about the shirts is that they have on their sleeve. I can show that in the camera.
Yeah, you can see it here too. It's
Yeah, they have like all the little woven label on it just to give it a little extra
they look
value.
nice. You get a good price for the value, to be honest. And in the future years, can we see maybe something new coming up, like fusing with a brand? Maybe a Who's Next gun adapter, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm very close to Bert, and he has some crazy ideas in general with some new stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, there's definitely the potential to do some special editions with Who's Next. I'm also speaking to Brandon and Eric from Slaughter and Brandon
Yeah.
from Full Auto to do something with them. That would be a
Okay.
dream for me.
Yeah, I
Obviously,
mean,
the,
they are
these two
like your idols.
Yes, in a
So,
way, especially Slaughter. I have one of the original Slaughter patches from like
no.
5 years ago,
It's a
and
big thing for the guys who don't know. Because in Europe it's not that big. In USA it's way bigger. But like
yep,
the starter patches are like the first thing. So they're really
yeah,
rare.
yeah. Some of them are really really rare, and he's a super nice guy. And it would be a big honor if we can work something out. So I want to work with them. For example, something I said that I don't want to do is headbands,
Okay.
because I cannot sew, so
Hmm.
my crafting skills are not good enough. And
Okay.
also, I would not know what I could add, which not everyone else is doing anyways.
Hmm.
So I would feel like I'm the 25th
Headband
brand that has
maker.
headbands.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yes, I would sell some because some people would like to support me or would like my designs.
But
But for me,
still, on the end, some will get sold, some will not. It's just a thing.
yeah,
Like
like I
you're
cannot
another in a row. So,
exactly, I cannot think about something with headbands, um, what I can change to make it unique or to give it a different spin. And I figured that I did that with the patches and even with the t-shirts, with a little label and stuff like
mhm.
this. You know, you separate yourself, but like there are already labels on headbands. Like, so I said I would only do headbands with another brand that is already established, but I'm currently not working on that actively.
Okay.
I do work on hoodies.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Hoodies are nice. It's winter season. It's cold. So,
Yep. So I hope to get them in-house soon, but then obviously we had to find a new place for the label and I had to test them. Hoodies obviously are even more expensive. I
no.
needed new packaging for that, so I got that now. And hopefully I can release that with a new design, with a new collection
Okay.
that
When
I
can
might.
we expect it? Spill
Okay,
something.
I will tease the new collection real quick.
Oh,
First
yeah.
time.
Show
Only
me.
a couple of people saw that. I'm just gonna, you have probably have to pause the video, but it's gonna be
Who's next? Raider style.
yes.
Okay, damn nice.
So yeah, I'm proud
Some
of that logo. I think that
okay.
fits. I think that
You're
fits.
are you a big Raider fan?
No, actually, I'm not a football fan at
Okay.
all. And but I always say it like this: if someone asks me, or if the Americans ask me, if I would, I probably would support the Raiders because they're most gangster, but now that they're in Las Vegas, that makes them a little bit less gangster. When they were back in Oakland, that was like, then I would definitely would have supported them
Okay.
because they're also black and white. But no, I honestly don't care about American football.
No.
I just like the logo.
Okay, okay, nice. No, it's a nice thing what you're doing with Who's Next. All the t-shirts, patches. It's the to be honest, it's a Europe patches thing right now.
Yep.
Like in USA, you have like you say, Full Auto and Slaughter and maybe some more. I don't know. I'm not the guy who's into that much into patches. Because yeah, so it's not my thing. I have patches, but it's not my thing to be honest.
Yeah, you should add a big patch wall in the back of
I have it.
your
The thing is, I told my fiance like I'm gonna do it a year ago. Now we are living here for a year. I still, yeah, it's not.
you should get it up for the next podcast.
I know, I know. Actually, I have to. I have to. So
I'm sitting here surrounded by like three big patch walls and they're all full.
that's the thing. The only thing I made is showing off my 5 medals. But
Which is super cool. I like that. I
yeah,
like that.
but the bad thing is they are 4 of 3rd place.
Well, you might change that next year or this year.
We will see. We will see. So, no, Fives, I still have one last question for you
Yep.
about who's next and just having your brand. Do you maybe have any tips for young entrepreneurs who want to create a brand? Because at the end of the road, even for myself, if I would ever do anything what I just thinking about, I would be broke as hell. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to. It's a big step you have to do. Even for me, making a team. Some people can, some people can't. It's all about yeah taking the
Well,
step.
well,
So
speaking about the brand, obviously, Who's Next is still very new, and it's still I'm building the supply chain for all that stuff, and now
Mm-hmm.
for the hoodies, for example, it takes so much time to get like couple of examples, then I choose which one I like, then you order them, and then they gonna put the label in it, and like all the process takes so long. Um, and I'm still building that, so obviously I don't have that much experience. But one thing that I definitely learned, which I would do different now, if I would now release Who's Next or any other
Yeah.
brand, don't do it too big from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like when I
Start
look back
slowly.
to, yeah, when I look back to my Who's Next introduction video, which is obviously just half a year old, or not
Mm-hmm.
even, like the variety that I had from the beginning is way too overkill. Start
Okay.
slow. Like I could have started with the patches way earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and but I wanted to have like everything perfect, and that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like I want to have everything perfect with my stuff, especially when I give my name for something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then, for example, the packaging of the shirts was delayed for like half a year. I waited like 23
Okay. Damn.
weeks on them,
So
and it was
this actually
supposed
holded you on.
yes.
Okay.
And but the patches were ready. Like I could have released them in May or April last year, but I
August.
waited until
I
like end of August or September with everything.
I'm gonna say one thing. For the patches, you had them, they were ready. I have one thing. What's the excuse?
As I said, like I wanted to have everything that I thought about
Hmm.
release at once and like be proper in a way where now I would be like, yeah, just release what you have, and if you add something, or if I
You
then add,
wanted to make it so perfect that you had everything, so people
yeah,
had a variety to choose of.
yes,
Okay, then it's
but
different mindset. And
but
to
I
be
th
honest, once the brand is launched, people can see different things, and it's not like only one typical thing. So
yeah, so I already launched some non-collective patches. I had the limited Get Fucked patch with the A Fest.
Mhm.
Now again, I'm waiting on the production of the patches from Globals. I know it's after Globals, but I cannot do anything about it. So they will probably arrive in a couple of days here.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's definitely the lesson that I learned. Just like whatever you have ready, just release it. People will like it if they like
Yeah,
your brand or if they like you.
if they
And
support you, they will
exactly. And people
do
who don't
everything.
like it, they don't care how perfect
No,
your release is or how many things you're releasing at once.
it doesn't
So
have to click directly. Sometimes people
exactly.
will just
Just
follow you and see maybe
yep.
sometime something is coming up. What is my type? What I like.
Yep.
So, and you did a first very big boost. You gave everything people could choose. So,
Yeah. So, well, it's not bad, of course, but
nah,
obviously,
of
while
course not.
starting as a small like business or small side project, if you want to do patches, if you want to do headbands, if you want to do shirts, whatever, just
Just
whatever
do
you
it.
have, just put it out.
Yeah, just
And
show it to the people.
yeah, you are not like, I don't know, Apple, where everything needs to be
No,
like styled through and like that's not for you, at least in the
if
beginning.
if you like it, just drop it.
Exactly.
Do things you like. Don't do it
So yeah.
for someone else. So
So that will be the lesson that I learned doing it wrong or doing it
yeah,
or yeah by myself.
it's a big advice. Yeah, it's nice because on the end, like you could start way earlier, but you still did a great job, of course. But yeah, just if you have something, do it. Nice, man. And that's the thing I did with the podcast too. I had the idea for a long time. I searched everything, but I was not like I'm gonna start in 2024. I'm not that guy who is gonna use that excuse. I had the idea. I was like, no, I have to start it right away. Why not?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
stopping me? What's stopping me? So, and right now we're already on episode 4. It's my first month of actually uploading 4 episodes. Now I'm sitting down with you fives, and to be honest, I'm having a great time. It's nice. For all the viewers, actually, I know fives on a different way. Like everyone know, I traveled a lot this year. to USA 2 times, and as of course, I know Fivves for already a long years, from back in the time playing. But this year I experienced him on a different way. He was doing all his things in different countries. I was closer with him. In real strike on pro events, it's way different. I'm playing more and more involved in just the team, and the things Fivves was doing this year was insane. And on the end, you still had a great time. Going over to USA, I can say it too. It's nice.
Oh yeah,
It's the
absolutely.
people there are so friendly and helpful. All the Speedsoft community is big there, so I like it. And Faiz, I'm happy you are here today.
Yeah,
It's
thank you for having me.
no problem, man. It's the
And
podcast is
honestly,
for
I have to
everyone. So
absolutely, and I have to give you credit because I thought about doing a podcast live stream, some sort of that also, but yeah, as I as I said, I hope that is kind of clear that I literally don't have time for this.
nah,
But no one from the community really did
it's
that. So I'm
they're
so happy that you are doing that now to give people and hopefully inspire even more people to do that. I know
mhm.
that you're a big fan of Play the Game podcast,
Yeah, definitely.
and maybe I don't know if you also listen to the Ryan Greenspan podcast or like
No, I
live
didn't
streams
listen to the Spick and Span show, but I
or Speak
listened
and
to
Span show, yeah.
the coaches show. I
Mm-hmm.
listened to Paintball Passport. This is the podcast who influenced me to travel. Also, the Play the Game podcast. The thing is, I'm listening almost every podcast on Spotify. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Spick
that's
and Span
cool.
is on YouTube. So
Oh, they don't upload it on Spotify. I
I
didn't
don't
know
think so.
that.
I never found it. I actually,
That's stupid.
so
But yeah, I mean, same advice. You said it yourself. Just start with it. You don't need a
yeah.
good mic or good camera. You know, if you have some success or some followership and people return to
Hmm.
tune in every time, then you can invest in equipment. But just take your headset, you know, like no one
Take your
cares in the
headset,
beginning.
just open Zoom and go with the flow and have a
Yeah.
chat with each other. That's the thing. Like even for me, you saw it in USA. I tried the vlogging and everything, but for me it's difficult. I'm more a guy who's living in the moment. And even with you, I always have big conversations about NSL or maybe about the game or anything, and even of roughing. To be honest, roughing I like. It's a nice thing to do, and you learn so much. So why shouldn't you? No.
Yep.
Um, Fives. We are going over a little bit of the NSL.
Yep.
It's a big year coming. People had some um, yeah, some complaints about the layout and everything. So we have big year for us. People are changing, of course. It's going to be a big year, to be honest, with the whole layout and everything. But we have some changes in the rules and everything. So I wanted to go over a little bit about the post NSL posted with all the new tournaments and everything,
Yep.
new rules who were added to the rule book. So yeah, it's going to be a big year. Um, I first want to ask you one thing, Vibes, and I'm just going over like the things I saw,
Hmm.
what I was like, okay, let's see. Why did the rule come of one transfer per year? Because right now we know it's a bigger off season. People are moving a little bit more. It was kind of the whole year throughout. It was a lot of teams changed, but where did this rule come from? Like, what was the idea behind it? Why did you do it?
So, I
So
mean,
people understand a little bit more.
yeah, we had it in place, play already last year for the European teams. Now
Mhm.
this year will be also applied on all teams like the US teams and also even in South Africa.
It's a general
We
rule.
yes, and we wanna embrace a little bit more professionalism and
Hmm.
also force teams to think about if they start a season. That's why you
Yeah,
can change your team once a year or like in the season between the league events.
yeah.
So if something happens to your team, like you still can go to another
Make
team.
one move. Yeah.
But we
Okay.
want to avoid situations
People,
which
yeah,
jumping
people's,
teams back and forth or play this tournament with this team, next time with this team. Like, no, just make a decision and play with one team for ideally a season, like put in the work and play with that. So there's like still the freedom for the teams if something happens or if like you have a fallout with the team, you can still find another team. Also, we introduced last year the Pro Series, so that means we have now two levels. Pro
Okay.
Series is A tier, and the leagues like the Western Conference,
That's
the
B
Eastern
tier.
Conference, Challenger is B tier.
Yeah.
And it would be very easy for Pro team to like take your best three players and go to a
No.
Challenger team just to boost them into Pro Series.
But actually about that, like if a pro player, the teams quit, like to be honest, let's just say Terranites doesn't exist anymore. Can a pro team still go to a challengers team at that moment?
Well, in this season, not, but in between seasons, which is
Okay.
now,
Hmm.
then you can change
Okay.
whenever you want.
That's the thing I wanted to know. Like,
And it's also
you
not really for globals,
if
like
you're
it's really
starting the
about the
year as a pro, you do the whole season as a pro. It's
yeah,
more like that kind of thing. Okay.
exactly.
Because it's a very important thing to know, because not a lot of guys know that. There's still a backup plan. I'm gonna say if you leave a team and there's no place for you, you can still go to the backup plan and
And you
start
can
all
can
over.
always so pro player cannot go down to challenger team, but a
Mm-hmm.
challenger player can always go to a pro team,
Yeah.
even
Okay.
mid-season within that one
Yeah,
one change
definitely.
per year.
Definitely. It
So
has to.
if you spot someone as a pro team and you as a player get the offer, then you still can like move up even within the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, One of my questions is actually about the team having 12 players. But it's said on the post, but I'm not sure if it changed or not. Because there was a rule. You can only start an event with 12 players. That's the main
Yes.
rule. But
Yep.
now it says you can only start with 12 players per team per season.
Yes. So, indeed, as you said, like the rule was that you only can have 12 players per event. That stays, but
Hmm.
we figured that the maximum amount of players that you can play in a season is 12 players. So you can play an event with seven and then with five different guys, but that still makes it 12 players in total. And
Hmm.
the reason that is maybe a little unfamiliar for European teams is actually or comes from America, because there were some teams having like 18, 19 players on a team,
Hmm.
but effectively only like seven or eight players of that team play in the tournament, and all the other players are not playing.
So,
And because they are scared or they are like don't want to make mistakes or they are not good enough in their team to play. But
okay.
with that rule, we kind of force people to have a maximum of players. And if you're
Hmm.
the 13th player on the team, it's clear that you cannot play that season on the team. So either you are fine with that or you look for another team.
Hmm.
Um,
So you
it's
can only play with the same 12 players for the whole season. You can't
yes.
get like when I just imagine like last year I went to DVS and maybe
Yep.
they had like already 12 players for two tournaments, so they had their full amount. I
Yep.
guessed it them. Is it allowed or is it not allowed?
No, that's not allowed.
Okay, okay.
Especially now, also, like what you did, which was super cool, by the way. Um, but we have to limit that pro players cannot also not play in like American or South African
Okay.
events on the
Um,
normal leagues. It doesn't matter. It only matters for the B tier leagues. That's what I mean.
okay.
Like a European Challenger is a league, Pro Series is a league, which is A tier,
But
US Western Eastern Conference and South
mhm,
Africa Major League. Those are the leagues I'm speaking about.
okay,
All
yeah.
the C tier tournaments, the Cup Series, and
Everyone
the
can play.
3v3, everyone can play. There's
Yeah.
like you can also play with a challenger team, like that doesn't matter. It's only
Okay.
for these tournaments where something is on the line, where it's like some qualification like later on,
Hmm.
that we want to avoid any like shady movement of
Okay.
players,
And
to
even like for Europeans guys like I did from Europe going over to USA, if you just I'm just speaking open-minded. If you would allow Europe guys going over to USA, but only limited to one, and USA guys going over to Europe only limited to one. It's only one player like I did. It doesn't matter that much. It's just like
Yes,
maybe
we
they
just
can
wanna
learn.
we just oh absolutely. We just wanted to draw a clear line to that.
Okay.
And since, as I said, like there's something in those leagues on the line, especially with the qualifications for globals. For what you described, which is awesome and it should still happen, that's why we created the Cup Series. And I think that's kind of a cool thing to talk about. Because we had those C tiers this year already, or last year
Yeah.
already in 24. But they were loose events. You just went there with your team. Some teams mixed, which is perfectly fine. Some
Mhm.
teams just played with their B roster, with their full roster,
It's
whatever.
it's more like a series. If you want to play, come around and you can play.
Exactly, and it's just another learning experience. Like me personally, I would take those tournaments maybe to give player 8 to 12 on the team more game time.
Hmm.
Also, maybe the starting five, two players don't even need to be there, like if they have some family stuff going, but still, like, give people the experience on the field, try new things, try crazy strategies, because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you lose, like, you don't lose anything. But you don't want to
Hmm.
do this on your Pro Series or on your Challenger event because there it matters. Like, these are the events where it really matters.
Yeah.
And also one thing, you experienced it. Obviously, you personally traveled to America before twice, but most of the Europeans haven't even played in America. Now with Globals at Extreme last year, we changed that.
Yeah.
And all the pro teams, or almost all the pro teams, traveled there now and played somewhere else. And I think, like, when you talk to people and what people post, like the travel together, staying together, it's like a class trip, where I have
Yeah.
like the
It's way
team.
different than just going over to Real Strike.
Exactly, it just feels different. Obviously, for people traveling to Real Strike, they have the same feeling because
Hmm.
it's not at their backyard. But for us, like, we drive 1 or 2 hours and then we are there for the
Hmm.
majority of the Real Strike players. And we want to give teams an option and a reason to travel
Yeah.
because I know for a fact that some challenger teams want to do the same thing. They want to go to Extreme, they want to go to SCA, and hopefully they want to go to Vanguard in South Africa.
Okay.
And
But
maybe those teams from there maybe want to go to Real Strike, but they might not be good enough to qualify for globals.
okay. Okay.
But if you
And
say you want to travel to Sac County with Hakai, then you can do that. And you can play in the Cup Series event. Or if you want to play with DVS again, you can do that in the Cup Series event.
yeah. Okay.
So
But it
that's
isn't
like the,
that big of an event, to be honest. It's lesser a big event, I will say.
of course, it's a C-tier event, and there's not much on the line, but we try to like increase the value of the tournament. And now that you have like global leaderboard, which doesn't like qualify for you for anything, but it's a nice thing to see like if you're competing with a South African team on that leaderboard, with a European team or with an American team.
Mhm.
Um, and when you travel, yes, it's maybe a smaller tournament itself, but the quality of the game is still the same, and you're gonna experience like all these other fields. Like you just have now the freedom of doing that,
Yeah,
even though you might not be good enough to qualify for globals.
it's an open option. Like
Yes.
it's there if you want to, but on the end of the road, it's actually more like still the teams from over there are gonna play. And if some teams want to do something nice, like their yearly trip, go over to USA, play a series event, why not?
Yep.
So it's an yeah. Maybe it's nice. I would prefer the other way when you can still play in the West Conference because you are helping more kind of team.
I mean, you
Um,
can do the same as a solo player in these events as well, just not on in the league because
mm,
we feel like this could get abused.
yeah.
Or then you can kind of buy your ticket in a way, like you just fly in the one of the pro teams and they play under your name. Like that's
Okay.
not really benefiting the development of the league.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
that's where we base our decision on. And I think we found a good way in between that we still
No.
give
It's
people the option to travel.
it's a good idea for also young teams.
Yeah.
People can play against Pro Series teams or Challengers teams. It's everyone can play. It's
Yeah.
just inscribe and you will see. So it's a nice thing. Oh, Fives. I'm just gonna take a quick check.
Yeah, no worries.
Because some of my questions are already answered. It's easy today. Um, a big one. Actually, once I sent it to you for this one, the personal statistics. I will say, like now we have the Hall
Yep,
of Fame for teams.
yep.
Will there maybe come like a Hall of Fame for players?
Not directly a Hall of Fame. We are not working on that directly, but what we are working on is indeed player stats.
Mm-hmm.
So for the ones who don't know, NSL so far was already run over Raspberry Pi, which is like those little mini computers which you can
Mm-hmm.
program. And it was like never fully done, like to the perfection level.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are working on a like proper app to run games.
Okay, nice.
And we want to connect a database to that. And then each team, when you sign up, so let's say Hakai signs up for the first pro event, you give me your roster. I put in the names with the key information, like we did for Nations Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be in the database. And
Yeah.
when Hakai is playing and you do a flag, and it's not just Hakai getting, let's say, 12 points for it, but it's also that Mushe got a flag
Okay.
hang.
Yeah.
Or
Nice.
Mushe, or we will then rank it by or do it by numbers within the system. Then it will be the communication from the referee, number 47, Hakai, zone 3.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then the host, like with the position I did last year, will put it in. And then the
Okay.
system knows, okay, Hakai needs to get 12 points or 3 points, and number 47 was the one running in.
Okay. And it's directly sending to the database who can do it also for
Exactly.
the personal. Okay, damn.
But but
That's a big
I
idea.
we are working on this, and it will definitely happen this year. I hope we can finalize that for the first pro. I cannot promise that,
Mm.
but it will definitely be there this year.
Okay, damn. I'm
And
looking forward for it.
then it
Definitely.
will be worldwide. And when you have all that extra data, which is there, we just need to like track it. Then we rework the NSL website
Mm-hmm.
and also not just have the tournaments there and the results, but also have like a history of that and some sort of Wikipedia on it.
Okay.
So you see like Hakai plays Saviors, and then there's the outcome of the match. But if you click on Hakai, it goes to your team page. And then
Okay.
on your team page, you see the roster. And then you say Musha, team captain,
Okay, damn.
FIFA play. And then you go on Musha and you see your full own page with your personal information. And maybe even like from there, you see all the tournaments you participated in
Okay.
and like
Damn.
your results and your medal collection and all that. That's like our goal where we want to go. And like we
Okay.
really want to get to this point by the end of the year of
Okay.
25.
Okay, damn.
But
It's
it's very complicated. It
and time
requires professional,
consuming, I think.
yeah, professional programming, and I'm a nerd, but I'm not a computer nerd in that
Okay.
regard. So I cannot do that. So we have someone doing that for us. But it takes time, and obviously it's
Definitely. Yeah, of
expensive.
course.
And but these are the improvements that we're now trying to do in the background,
Hmm.
where also I'm involved in, where I said, okay, I cannot be on the front line all the time. I just need to be in the back line and like work on these things
Yeah.
and eventually speak about them, and then have them ready and then amaze hopefully all the NSL players with like more detailed statistics.
Would be very nice. And it's easy for team captains too to just find their new
Yeah,
prospects.
we wanna do that with like some sort of login. So
Okay.
you get like your team page login and you can just put in the names, the birthday, a picture and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's yeah, a lot of work to do that everywhere because again, like you cannot just do it somewhere. It needs to be
Like
like available for everyone.
just some of the ideas I sometimes had, like to make it more professional. Like airsoft is one of the only sports where you can see a name, but it's like a nickname.
Hmm.
And football, motocross, everything where there is a name printed on your jersey, it's your personal name. To actually improve, how do you think about this? So
I
it's
agree and
more,
I agree. I get your point and I agree and I disagree. First off, you're already free to put whatever name you want on your
Mhm.
jersey. So
Yeah,
if you really
definitely,
care, like
definitely.
you can do that. Um, Me personally, I always liked that, that it was that way, and that's why I always had fives on my jersey. Um, and it's not 100% true. One big what you're saying, yes, all the active sports, like the traditional sports,
Yeah,
they pretty much go by last name and sometimes like by nickname or like some mixed name, but
yeah.
mainly last name. Um, One thing which I think goes very well together with us, where it's not the case, where it doesn't go by last name and mainly by nickname, is esports. And
Okay.
esports is huge, whether it be on Counter-Strike or on Fortnite or on Call of Duty or Dota or League of
Hmm.
Legends, whatever. They all, or most
Go
of
by
them,
nicknames. I
by
know.
nicknames. And you can obviously display like your full name and have your nickname in it, but it creates also some sort of brand with it. And I think in general that esports or computer games go very well together with what we are doing. Because
Definitely. Of
to me,
I
NSL is
agree.
like
Yeah.
Counter-Strike or Rainbow Six in real life.
Search
With
and
like
destroy.
obvious, yeah, yeah. I mean, in a way, it is. It's like
Hmm.
5v5. It is competitive, but it is real life.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I think a nickname sometimes sticks better
Yeah.
with a lot of people, and that's funny. Like a lot of people use their last name or their first name as a nickname,
Yeah.
and when you're from a different country where that name is not common, then you don't even know that it's the nickname, the actual name, and you
Yeah.
think it's a nickname. For example, I'm obviously German, and I never heard about the name Hilke, but he put it once on his jersey, and I thought that is his nickname. Like your nickname is Musha and mine is
Yeah.
Fives, because I just didn't know the name at that time. But it is apparently a Dutch name,
Yeah. It's his
which you can
personal
give.
name.
Yeah, his first name. So that was kind of funny, and I had it with some other guys as well. So you can really play around.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like my thoughts on that.
It's my the only thing why I'm asking this is to make it more like professional, like you said, like esports doesn't have this, and we are more kind of esport, but on the end we are still a real sport.
Sport, yeah. We are like in between. And I think
Hmm.
paintball does it well. Like some of them do have nicknames and some of them don't. Like Mouse is, for example, is a good example that he has a very known nickname, but
Hmm.
others just go by their
Just
regular
regular names,
names.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And even I'm not sure with who I talked about it. I think with Tristan.
Hmm.
Even for me, most of the guys know me as Mushi. But
Yeah.
if people know me for a long time, they know me by my personal name. Like even in my own team, not a lot of guys are saying my personal name. On Airsoft, and most of the time I'm just Mushi. So,
Yeah. It's
or in
for me
USA,
as well. Like
Moo. So
everyone calls me Fives.
yeah,
And then I
that's
always
that's
make
just a name. It's
yeah.
as easy as that.
Yeah. But
Uh,
it's a nickname. It's obviously not in my password. I wish, but it's not.
okay. Fives, I just have some more questions. I have to say sorry for this one, but for the new kind of tournament mode you guys invented, what is the name? Because I couldn't
Pulse.
say again.
Pulse.
Say again.
Pulse. It's like a heartbeat.
Ah, okay, pulse, pulse.
Yeah. Like when you have
Okay,
like or when you have a heartbeat, you have a pulse.
okay, pulse. Okay, damn, nail. I couldn't read it. It
It's
was it. I
okay.
was like, I was trying, and on the end, I said like, I'm just gonna ask Five. Five is gonna say it to me because
Yeah,
I
no, it's
couldn't get
NS
it.
it's NSL pool. So what
Okay.
we have in mind with that, obviously we have our 5v5, like Global's
Mm-hmm.
Nations Cup, S tier, like that is the place to be, and like everything goes down like a pyramid from that. That's our core gameplay, and that will not change like dramatically. And we already introduced something last year, which was the 3v3. It's still the same format, but there was some rule
It's different,
adjustments
yeah.
to that. And a 3v3 is more even more than a C-tier fun tournament where you can have a good time and like just shoot some BBs and all that. And we looked, and I have to go back to the gaming comparison. We looked at it like a Call of Duty game. You buy
Okay.
the whole game, it says Call of Duty. So in our case, that would be NSL. And the main game is, of course, like TDM, Search and Destroy, and all that
Yeah.
stuff, like the traditional Call of Duty. That's like NSL 5v5. But then you have your Warzone, you have your zombie mode, you
Your
have now
campaign.
a paintball mode, you have your gulag mode, whatever they have. Like they have so much, I don't even know all of that. But those are like sub brands or sub genres of that one game. And we kind of want to create the same with NSL. So we already have the 3v3, which I see as one of these sub brands or sub
Okay.
genres.
Yeah.
And now we want to introduce pools to especially new teams, but also established teams,
Okay.
as a very easy, accessible format, which trains you for NSL, but it is not as competitive and serious as NSL, because that's something we heard a lot,
Uh-huh.
that people want to start,
But they are
but
scared.
they are scared, and that even challenger teams are scaring them, and that even teams at the C tier will scare them. And also, when you think about it, people that come from an airsoft background who played milsim, like skirmish style of airsoft, and they are interested, for them being on a speed field is already enough. Like
Yeah.
they have completely overload in their brain, like they cannot handle the situation
No.
in the beginning, and then they have no idea what to do with the flag. So it doesn't matter what happens with the flag.
Okay.
So for beginners, we said, okay, we just need to like make it easy for them,
Okay.
make it more accessible, like less long, and it goes a little bit back where we come from. So it's definitely not SpeedQB, but it's NSL just without buzzers all the
Okay.
wall.
Okay.
And you,
So, okay. No, it's a big difference. If
yeah,
you would
it
just play without buzzers.
It's more about obviously shooting the others out and then still making it in the time.
Yeah,
You have like
of course.
I believe we're gonna make it at 90 seconds per one round, and you're gonna play that round as attacker, and you need to hang the flag in those 90 seconds, or you
Okay.
get a zone point if you run out of time, but you just need to kill the other players. So
Okay.
it's still a fun mode, and
It's
it's
still 5v5.
yes,
Actually, just like you say, NSL without buzzers.
yeah,
It's
and
you're limited with your time for one attempt
yes, and
or one
then.
defense offense. Doesn't matter.
Then the catch with that is that if you're defender, if you snatch the flag because you don't have tries, you get
Mhm.
5 points.
Oh, okay. So you get
So
points
you
for snatching.
yes, so you still have
So
an
you,
incentive to
yeah,
snatch the flag.
to be honest,
And then
it's
it will
gonna.
change, and then we haven't decided on that. We need to figure that out now in the next weeks if we do 4 or 6 tries in total for one match,
Mhm.
so that you're either 2 or 3 times on offensive and 2 or 3 times on defensive.
Yeah. Okay.
And then whoever has the most points after that wins.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And what will happen if you have the draw? So still
Then it will
shootouts?
be a then no, then it will be a draw.
Okay. 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 No.
We just want to keep it very simple. It's also designed to be a one-day tournament.
Okay. So just maybe some 10 teams just play 6 times and it's over. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, like we will play around with that. Obviously, see also how many new people we get, but also how many experienced players we can get. We also want to do it as a single sign up, like you sign up for pickups.
Okay.
That you just sign up, and obviously when you have like 4 or 5 friends, you can bring them with you and you sign your team up on the spot. But if you
Okay.
only have like 2 guys and you don't know anyone, you sign up yourself and then we put you in a mixed team.
Okay.
So it's
And
very,
can pro players sign up for this?
yes.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
And
So
we will,
actually, it's
I'm,
for everyone.
yeah, it is for everyone. Obviously, we want to address beginners, but there's
Yeah.
no point if
Okay.
only like 5 people are there, then I cannot have a tournament. So then I need other players with that. Maybe the pro players cannot behave, then maybe we have to ban them from
No,
that. But that's
it's
no,
easy mode. It's
yeah,
beginner
of
style.
course. But it's also maybe like we're gonna disallow shotguns in normal NSL because no one uses them anyways. But for that,
Wow, but it's nice. We still have it. I want to. The thing is, I want to buy a shotgun. I still want to play with it.
we
I
will
never.
allow that in pools.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
And there you can have a like just play different, not competitive. It is
Okay.
competitive, but not like competitive at the same time.
Okay.
And we just have to see how it goes, how people like it, and what the feedback is. And obviously, ideally in the future, we will have like always beginners or newer teams there.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, maybe in the beginning, especially like some established teams want to try it out, and or maybe they want to mix. I mean, that would be the best community service if you
Okay.
and two of your team members say, okay, we're going to take each of us like four completely newbies and give them the best time. Because if they have someone to like look up to and someone telling them what to do, and then
Yeah. It's a big difference. You can
they're gonna
learn a
have a
lot more.
positive
Yeah.
experience and they don't care about winning or losing because they are so like they have so much stress at that moment being in the breakout line, being there when the time goes,
Mhm.
calling their hits, shooting in the right direction. Like for them it's like completely overload for stuff that we don't even think about anymore. But
No.
having someone telling them, you go left, you go right, I have the flag, you just shoot them out, and if he's out, then we push or something. Someone doing that for them goes a long, long way. And
Yeah. Definitely.
and
It's.
also I think it's good of like in a way of creating your fan base.
Hmm.
Because when you help them out, they're gonna be so loyal and so thankful for you. Like they're gonna support your team and eventually they're gonna buy your merch and they're gonna watch your games or they're gonna cheer in the chat for you. And I think it's a good two-way street that
No, definitely. It's a good project to start, to help players start and have their first experience with the whole NSL.
yep,
Because like you say, and even I can speak from it, when I played some CQB and my home field Kortrijk, AK
yep,
Kelhouse, sometimes I had some guys younger than me watching me and telling me like Musje, and saying, I want to play, but I'm too scared to go over to Speedsoft. But the only advice I always give is it's very easy. Just
yeah,
go
just get
out and
started.
yeah, just start. What's the excuse? What is stopping you? Nothing. It's as
Exactly,
easy as
but
that.
even that, when you look at it from a community perspective, even that is a big task for a lot of players. Like
Yeah.
I cannot remember, it was one of the challenger events. I think the first or the second one. I think it was the second one. This from 24. There was a guy in the chat knew he was like, okay, I live kind of close to Real Strike. I want to come out, and they were super like I think some Delta guys helped him out in the chat and like explained stuff to him. Super nice, but he asked like, okay, what is the beginner's level? And then there was nothing. And then one guy from Delta said, well, Challenger is the beginner level at the moment. But you cannot, like, if you throw a complete new person against a team like, well, Delta or Apex or OB
Yeah.
or like pretty much any Challenger team, like,
They're
they
gonna
will
be
get
eaten up.
exactly. So that was kind of funny because he was like, oh, what is the beginner level? While Challenger is obviously open sign up
Yeah.
and not beginner level, but like everyone could join.
No.
So we want to address those people who are scared to get like completely shot into pieces and give them a feeling for
And the
competition
first
without
experience, yeah.
being too serious about it, you
Hmm.
know?
No, definitely. Okay, no, to be honest, it's a nice project, and let's hope it's gonna catch some new players,
Yep.
so they can get their first experience with the whole thing. And yeah, we will see. A last thing about NSL, and then we're gonna switch over to the listeners' questions. Um, Let's explain. Fives, explain me a little bit what will happen with the VAR for next year. How will the VAR work for
Yep.
NSL next year?
So that was obviously a big target point from last year.
Hmm.
As you know, as the majority might know, we
Yeah.
have 8 cameras, and
And
well, it's
guys, wait, Fives, I was just gonna say
yeah,
something. Even the first event in USA, I helped Fives hanging up the cameras.
absolutely
8 cameras, Musha did with the
the
yeah, just
drill
yeah, with the drill, hanging
and
them up.
the and
So
the
the height worker. We call
yep.
it in Belgium. It's a height worker.
All right,
It's a Dutch word. So no,
yeah.
the
So
cameras are good. So
so we have cameras. They are 4K. They are quite well. They're expensive. And yes, we definitely need more, and we need a better software. The recorder is not good, but that's all like too complicated, too expensive to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I handled the VAR last year was that every big decision, so every first degree and every major and all the fuck ups that happen along the way, needs to be confirmed.
Okay.
We also had sometimes unexperienced ref there, and it's very hard for me if you, as a host, to make a decision based on what someone sees.
Yeah, definitely.
And that person sees this guy's getting hit across the field. That's like 30 meters or something. And we still shoot with small BBs. And I'm not in general doubting the decision by the ref, but in fact, sometimes referees can be wrong.
Yeah.
And then I would put a first degree on you. But if I can see it on the camera, if it bounces off your shoulder, then I can then I can give you the first degree and like confirm it.
Mm-hmm.
But that had a couple of downsides. Obviously, we had no technology to show the footage or
Mm-hmm.
to share it. In the end, I started like filming it with my phones, showing it to the team captains afterwards to get like a better
Okay.
understanding for the calls. Um, we cannot see everything with those eight cameras. We would need more, better cameras, whatever,
Yeah.
to make it like
And
even a better system.
mm-hmm.
Um, and also the pressure that all this creates on the position of the host is crazy.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
mean,
Because
you're
people
you're
are
guilty
thinking
of
you,
that. You're,
yeah.
you know how it is. Obviously, you're frustrated with the ref call and you want to clear things up. But it's not just you doing that or one team doing that. It's like everyone doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And it got to a point where people didn't trust me or the refs anymore. And if you have it over and over and over again, it creates a lot of stress for you in your mind. And you
Yeah,
know
no,
when you're checking
definitely.
something that either the team who's getting the penalty or the team that shot the penalty is disappointed and will completely question everything.
Yeah.
And we analyzed our system and how last year went and came to the conclusion that right now we don't have the resources to fully go down this route
Yeah,
because
and commit.
I still believe it is the right path with that and it will make decisions more fair, but also it will make decisions based on what the cameras pick up.
Yeah.
And we want to bring it more to the referees again, because yes, the referees might do a wrong call, but they might do a wrong call for you as well. Like it will balance out. And when you feel like the referees made a wrong call or there was something the referees haven't picked up, you can ask 3 times the tournaments for a challenge.
Yeah. And
And
that's, I'm
then,
gonna say it's a good thing you guys added to compare with not you can explain.
yeah,
It's,
so then you are angry, oh, this is all bullshit. And then you go to the head ref and say, I want to challenge this. This in this situation, I shot him in the head and in snake, 100%. And the refs be like, yeah, we didn't see anything, but when you challenge it, it will go to the host who still has the VAR, and he will check the footage just as I did last year.
yeah.
All the cameras that show the potential situation. And
Okay.
if the cameras pick something up, then there will be a penalty addressed. If they don't pick something up, because as I said, sometimes it just happens that you cannot see a BB, etc., or you probably missed, like whatever, then you lose your challenge. But in case you are right with your challenge, you get your challenge back.
Yeah.
So you
So it's very easy if you're bitching around and asking a VAR check every time, you will lose your challenges and you will be fucked to the tournament.
exactly.
So
So you obviously always should keep at least one challenge for the final moment. You know, if
yeah.
it's like semifinals, you're winning or losing, and it all matters on
Hmm.
that call,
Yeah,
then it
definitely.
would suck if you don't have a challenge. But also, if you're 100% sure that there is something wrong, and it could be anything, it could be also a team took the flag off the fields and the refs didn't pick it up, then we will check that.
Hmm.
And we will still, or the host will still use the VAR, but not for hits. So
No.
hits will be on referees, and only if there's a challenge from a team the VAR
Yeah.
will check for hits. So it will increase the or decrease the waiting time for
Yeah.
decisions.
So actually, every time you ask a challenge, doesn't matter what it is, they will check it.
Yes.
But
And
ref
it
calls
comes,
on the field during the game will all come down to the refs on the field.
yes, exactly. And there will
Only
be,
if a challenge comes.
exactly. And it might be, you can theoretically challenge 100 times and be 100 times
Yeah,
right.
definitely. If you're right, you're right. So
Yes.
it's as
But
easy
there's
as that.
also, and it is important to say that there is a thing, and teams will lose challenges throughout the year because the cameras don't show it. Like if
Mhm.
I cannot see the impact, it might be there, but if I
You
cannot see
can't
it
see
because
it.
the
You
angle
can't see
is
it.
shit, then yeah, it is what it is. And that's unfortunately the
But that's the thing where I want to ask you something else. You say this to me. Can you address it to us on a screen? Like, can you come up to us and show us, like, Mushe, I can't see it. It's no penalty. You can
we
address it to me right there, right directly on the screen.
we obviously the VAR will only be in real strike for all real strike tournaments. So the US tournaments and the South African tournaments so far don't have a VAR. That's important to know. Um, because it's such a big cost point.
Yeah, it's a big
Um,
cost point.
even though it's not perfect, it's already cost a ton of money.
Hmm.
And so it will be at real strike for next year only. And we want to, and I think it is possible to have a screen somewhere on the field or like close to the field, where then the VAR footage will be shown to the
Okay.
team captains.
Okay. So
I
we
cannot
can.
promise that because it's also a technical thing, but we are working on that. So if you
No.
challenge something, that you as a team captain, both team captains, can watch it and together with the head ref and yeah, watch the footage from that.
Yeah. But even like in a big decision, just if your idea is not happening and it's like a big decision, I can still go up and ask the host, like, can you show it to me?
Well, not if we have the screen, no, because then
Okay.
you go to the head ref and say you want to challenge that, and then the host will show the footage, like go through the footage, and that process you will see
Lose a
on the
lot of
screen.
time. Yeah.
You no, but you will see that on the screen if we
Okay.
manage to put a
Do,
screen down
yeah.
there.
Okay. Nice.
But if we don't manage the screen for the beginning or like in general, then definitely I could see it happening that you like film it with your phone, like the VAR
Okay.
footage, so you can show the team captains after.
Okay.
Because it's
Uh,
not like 300 checks, it's like maybe 30 checks per
okay.
tournament.
Okay. And let me talk a little bit about the refs for next year, because for Pro Series, you said like
Yeah.
it's gonna be one host for all the A tier event and S tier events.
Yes.
So is it gonna be the same with the refs? Is it gonna be a consistent team for all the A tier and
Well,
S tier
we
events?
hope to do that for the Pro Series.
Hmm.
Globals and Nations Cup is always a little different because there are more than just pro
Different
teams
teams, yeah.
involved. But we want to build a ref team or fill the refs with the same players from one or two teams from Challenger.
Hmm.
Um, and then in reverse, that for the Challenger, one or two pro teams will do the job.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Okay, no. It's gonna be a good idea, I think. Having refs is always difficult, but on the end, you can still be happy they are still there because
Yep,
you're staying there
absolutely.
a whole fucking weekend, 2 days long,
And getting
every
shot in your
game,
face.
getting shot in your face. The only funny thing I experienced about refing is just fucking with fives in the comms. It's the only thing. And just yeah, laughing with the guys on the field because when you are roughing, you see a lot, and you can see every mistake they are making. You can laugh with it at the moment, but still, like Five told, on the end, you can do the same. It's just something like this. So
Absolutely. But I mean, it's funny. I mean, it happened even to you. Like, starting with six people at the breakout,
yeah.
like, when you see that as a ref, you go like, oh my God, those idiots. But when you're a player, like, it can
No,
happen, you know?
it can happen. It can definitely happen. Like even in globals, we get a penalty for starting with fives. I forgot I had a penalty, and it's just because of a situation. I said it with Tristan too. My gun was not working. I'm the captain. I'm waiting on the field for your call. I give my gun to a teammate. Teammate doesn't do it. I come back. Gun is not fixed. I fix it. I forget the penalty. We're
Yep.
starting with 5 guys. We do the flag hang. Then you see everyone watching like we were too much guys. We did the flag hang. We were happy, but we knew like just shut your mouth, go inside. Let's hope Five doesn't see it. Just it's as easy as that. At some
Yeah,
point,
true.
you have to be just shut your mouth and just walk.
So you know when
That's
Musha is quiet, then there's something
when
happening.
Moose is quiet. Check the VAR.
Yeah. No,
So,
but coming back to that to finish that up, so the bar will be there,
yeah, it
and
will be used.
when a ref also says like, I'm not sure if he took the flag off the field, then obviously he will check for the ref, so that doesn't need to be a challenge. But the ref will make the call on hits,
Okay.
or the
Okay.
refs will make it
Okay.
together.
I have to say, like, if we just hope all the refs are experienced refs, it's gonna be a good time. And
Yep.
yeah, just guys, sometimes you don't hit anything. It's as easy as that, even for me. I'm shooting, like I say to everyone, I'm shooting a lot, but it doesn't mean I hit everything. Sometimes you can shout and get out, and you're just trying if he is gonna take the hit, but he isn't hit.
Yep.
That's the thing. So, okay, Fives. I think we said enough about NSL and the whole new 2025 season. I'm very excited for it. Yeah, I think like this weekend, Haka is going to train again. It's going to be on our home field. So yeah, we're going to have good training. We are preparing for the first Pro Series. I hope all teams can make it. And
Yep.
yeah, for all the rest, I'm gonna have some time on the challenges too, because I'm gonna coach 187.
Oh,
So I'm
that's
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna be at a lot of events this year. Um, I was even maybe thinking about going to South Africa. I said to my girlfriend, the thing
Make
is,
an make a nice
with
holiday out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
with
Why not?
traveling this year so much, she was angry at me. I didn't took her with me, but I still said like it's cheaper. You have to understand.
Yeah,
Um,
if you don't come and I go twice, it's cheaper than
yeah,
us going twice and
yeah,
once
definitely.
and
So
with
you have to make
you.
choices.
Yeah, true. I fully
Uh,
support that. No,
but
but
no,
that's cool if you can like combine it with a holiday with your fiance or with your girlfriend or
yeah,
wife.
why not?
That's perfect.
I was thinking about it. I'm not saying, but who knows? Never say never. Never say never. Okay. So, Fives, I'm gonna jump into the questions of the listeners. I have to say, I got some very great questions, some good ones.
Okay, I'm interested. I'm
So
curious.
let's see. Some will already be answered, but yeah, we will see what we can answer and not. Um, we have the question of Empire Zaza. Will the VAR be showed on the live for 2025?
Yeah, that is the same as it is with the TV. It's at the moment a technical thing that is quite hard to
Actually,
figure out. But when
if
we can do that, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be on
and
the live stream.
just to for example, for the VAR to be shown on the live, when it's a challenge, we need to see it on the live stream. Like it's
Yeah.
like the break time. Like in football, when a penalty is called, it's a VAR check. The VAR
Yes.
check. So it's just things like this. So no, if the screen is gonna be there, actually it's gonna be on the live stream too.
Then it then it's technically possible to have it on the live stream. Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
So
Damn.
we are working that, and I'm not opposed on that because I think that
The
would even create better transparency.
it's already in building, but the time is not sure right now.
Yeah.
Let me say it like that.
But it will
Um,
happen eventually. Yeah.
okay, nice. It's gonna be a good thing because to be honest, it's very nice to watch so far and see what the host sees. So yeah, there's just transparency, and you can definitely see like it's so close or it's not that close.
Yep.
So you will learn a lot about it too. Um, Next one is from NSL Justinger. I'm sorry, man. I know you, but I'm always not sure if I'm saying your name right. Um, a very great question. After all other leagues are adding prize money, will NSL follow?
Not for next year.
Not for next year.
No, it's
Okay.
as I said, like yes, we have some sponsors. Yes, well, the entry is not cheap. I know that, but we have a lot of bills to pay. We
Hmm.
have people to pay. At some point, I also need to be paid. And there's just a lot of stuff that costs money. And yes, it's interesting if we say like 5,000 for the series or whatever. But if you look at the bigger picture, that shouldn't be your motivation. And also it will only benefit like a couple of teams. For the future, of course, I want to have prize money, but I think like if I have money spared, like I would rather invest in more cameras for the VAR or like in new
Yeah.
bunkers, etc.
It's actually
Then
all about making choices.
yeah.
And yeah, not everyone has the money to spend it that easy. So yeah, no, okay. I'm looking forward to it because at one point my biggest dream is to get paid for playing. Doesn't
And
matter
I
what
think
it is.
that is even more interesting than just having prize money, because it gives you a guarantee, you know, like if you get every month 500 euros and you don't have to pay anything, like your sign-ups, your training, your BBs and all that is covered, or maybe even your travel is covered, whatever,
Yeah,
and then you get money on top of that. That is the next thing that I want to introduce and like work together with teams and companies and like push everyone in the right
yeah.
direction.
Hmm.
And then you don't really need prize money because, as I said, it will only benefit one team once or like a couple of teams once. But you also need like your fourth, your fifth, and your sixth teams. And if they also could make a living or at least play for free,
Yeah.
then I think it goes a long way than just having like 2,000 euro prize money on something or 5,000 euro on a challenge or whatever.
Okay, I understand the point, but on the end, it's like how I need to say it. You get you earn something for the win. Like you earn
Yes,
something for the
true.
hard work.
True, but
And you can invest it back in into your team.
yes, but realistically, there's not enough money to make a decent prize pool. Yes, of
Hmm.
course, I can do like 1,000 euro prize money, like that wouldn't affect anything, but then it's not like really worth it. But then money is on the line, and we both know how crazy and heated it sometimes gets, even though nothing is on the line technically. Like, yes, a trophy, but the trophy again also has only the worth you put to it. Um, and if actual money is on the line, then it's even harder for refs and for the host. And I feel like we are just not ready with that because
Okay.
people would then get too high expectations, which they already have. And it's very hard to catch and live up to these.
And just because I'm just saying the thing is other leagues adding more money will attract more people. That's the thing. People are attracted by money. Still, on the end, NSL is one of the biggest leaders for 5v5 format.
Yeah.
People love to play NSL just because of the whole format. It's just the thing. They can't I'll say it's not true. It's the truth. NSL is a nice format. But yeah, no. To be honest, I want to see like small prize money, like you say, 1,000, so we can pay back our entry fee, and still on the edge, you can do what you want with it.
Yeah.
Start
I
small
don't
and grow big.
I don't think it will happen for this year, for 26. Obviously that can be up for talk, but as I said, like the if the overall financial situation improves, then obviously then there's more money to be shared.
Yeah.
If a big sponsor steps in and says, I want to sponsor the Pro Series with like 10,000 euros and I
Hmm.
want this to be prize money, then it's a complete different story. But yeah, I think first we still have a lot of different construction
Okay.
sites in place that first need to be addressed.
Okay. Yeah.
And as we said, I can only agree with you that it says a lot about the quality that NSL as a whole, like the teams, the refs, the organization, the fields, put together wherever you go, that people want to travel and spend so much money to play for something where they cannot win money. And obviously, with all the new leagues and whatever coming up, they feel like they need to put money out in order to get people. But I don't think that's a good community then if it's only there because you can win
No.
something.
Okay. No. I understand the point. Yeah, no, it's everyone has a different opinion, of course. But yeah, no, we will see. I have to
And
say, like,
don't get me wrong. I would love to have prize money, and I
no,
also would have
no, of
loved to
course,
play for prize money.
it's just a choice of investments
Investment,
you have to
exactly.
make.
Yeah.
So the one league is putting out the investment in the teams, but it's not putting the investment in cameras or anything else. So it's all about investments.
And speaking about it, it was not prize money, but let's take last year Pro Series, which was completely entry fee and also
Yeah.
free, and also globals, where we took sponsor money and put it there so we can cover our costs with that.
Mhm.
And even now, this year, still like there is an entry fee on the Pro Series and the globals, but with the Pro Series, still like every team gets per Pro Series 500 euros off of the actual price that it would
Yeah.
have costed due to our sponsor contracts that we made, so we can afford that, giving that to
Yeah.
people. So yeah, if you have a great connection to a company that wants to invest,
If
maybe
you have
then
some
we
ideas,
can add,
guys, if you want some
yeah, then we
money,
can add prize money.
just
As I said, I'm
add.
not against it, but it just needs to make sense, as you said.
No. Okay. Okay. No, I understand. Next one is from Hlada Adi, the best commentator from
Absolutely. Shout
NSL.
out to Adi.
Do you ever get the urge to get back on the field?
Yes and no. Every time I play, I would. When I'm not there, it is work for me at this moment,
Yeah.
and then I don't have the urge to be
Okay.
back.
The thing is, Fivves, I'm going to say one thing, one small fact I noticed this week. I was watching on my program to edit all videos. And when you played last time on pickup games, I took my camera with me and I
Hmm.
filmed. And it still has the title Overshooting Fives.
Yeah, put it
So I
out there.
directly know it's the pickup games with fives. So
But I can't even remember you overshooting me.
no,
Like,
I didn't play that much that day. So
yeah, well, you shot me a couple of times. I remember that, unfortunately. And I remember Cringe running up because I posted out, like, play with me and overshoot me. So Cringe bunkered me and came and shot me like 4 times in the chest. I wouldn't even consider that overshooting. And he immediately apologized after. So I told him, like, that was your Canadian side. You're way too nice on your Canadian side because you immediately apologized. Just like,
yeah.
walk off.
Cringe, what you doing, man? Be a man. Next one is from Gripped UK, a new brand, upcoming brand in the UK.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw them. Yeah.
how tall is this man? How tall are you fives?
I'm 194, or for the Americans, 6'4".
6'4". Okay, damn, almost 2 meters.
Yeah, like 6 centimeters are missing,
Uh,
but
Still tall man.
I'm quite tall, yeah.
Damn. And it's funny to see, like, when I was watching the stream, I saw you playing on like the Snake Dorito on the last layout.
Yep.
But you playing there is insane. You're a big man. You almost can't fit behind the bunker. And it's funny because like my old player, Yessi, if you see Yessi playing again, behind it, it's insane. It's his same height, you don't see him. Never. It's insane. So next one is from Hyper. Will there be updates to the stream quality? Improvements on viewers' experience?
Yeah, well, as I said, we are working on the VAR thing. Um, we don't have any new cameras for now. I want to improve the fly cam for Nations Cup and Globals.
Hmm.
Because we brought that back last Nations Cup, but the quality was not good. We will have decks as things stands for all the pro events, Nations
Hmm.
Cup, and hopefully globals that he couldn't
Okay.
confirm yet, which I think adds a big,
A
big
big,
layer
yeah.
of
It's nice to have them
quality.
have him out there.
Um, yeah, and then just small things, of course. But again, I'm still occupied with so many other stuff that I don't really have the focus on the live stream for now,
Yeah.
to be
You are
honest.
more focusing on other things right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, yeah. But I obviously want to improve it, and it will improve at some time. But again, it costs a shit ton of money,
Okay.
especially
And
the live stream equipment. And
yeah.
but yeah, it will. It is a process.
Yeah, it will come eventually. Give it some
Yeah.
time. And once we are talking about live stream, I want to ask you something. Do you have maybe the numbers of some records you broke this year from live stream viewers?
Actually, that's a good thing. I should have. I haven't finished the quarter for the last quarter, the statistics,
Yeah.
but I know that we broke the record for most views in the live stream on Nations Cup on the
Okay.
Sunday.
Damn.
We had over 400 people watching.
Damn. Insane. Crazy.
So, and
The sport
over
is seen. The sport is seen.
yes, and overall, all the live stream numbers are better than 23.
Mhm.
Um, like the views and the watch time is higher. Obviously, we had also more tournaments. Um, it's getting there. It's
Okay.
definitely not dying. I know that some people want to see it die or claim that it's dying. Also, some other leaks from the States say that it's dying.
It's
It's not. It's actually
stop the
growing.
cap.
Yeah,
So
it's actually growing, and
yeah.
it's yeah, we're on a good way.
No, definitely. Next one is from RDB Sebi. Can you share the dimensions of the new NSL layout?
Well, the
I
if
think
you
that I think he means the dimensions maybe of the bunker or of the field.
well, the field is 35 by 18
Meters or feet?
meters
Okay.
meters.
35 on okay then.
And then yeah. But obviously if it's a little smaller like Extreme or SEC, it's fine as well.
Yeah.
And for the bunkers, yeah, we can once we have them all like finalized, we can put them up.
Mhm.
Um, we want to carpet more bunkers before the first event. But yeah, some bunkers are in bad shape, so we might need to rebuild them.
Okay.
But they can also just write me a DM.
Okay. So RDB CV, you know what to do. Next one is from Kit Koop Group. Um, why why take on this quest in airsoft and not get drunk on the beach in 10 different countries?
So he's asking why I chose airsoft over like
Yeah,
getting drunk on the beach. Well, maybe I'm getting drunk on the beach as well. Maybe he just doesn't know.
maybe you don't know. Dopex, do you miss being on the field?
What?
Do
Do I
you
miss?
miss being on the
Oh, being
field?
on the field. Well, in terms of playing, yes and no. Um, of course, it's my sport that I love the most in my life,
Mhm.
and I'm still young enough to
To
play.
play it and play it on
On
a
the
high competitive way. So,
yeah, so yeah, I do miss it. But on the other hand, no, like especially when it's like super warm or cold in Red Strike,
yeah,
I don't miss
definitely.
to be on the field.
He loved to
Uh,
sit in his booth.
yeah, what Nations Cup? You thought I had a airco? I didn't. I
Oh,
was dying
damn.
there. It was
Shit.
worse than on the field.
I
But
can't
no,
believe, man.
it's a like 50-50 thing.
Yeah.
And one thing that I do want to do more, I did last year, play actual milsim,
Okay.
like outdoors, like long mission games, like 24 hours or even longer operations, stuff like that. I want to do more next year or this year. Um, so I still want to shoot some BBs every now and then.
Okay. Damn. Nice. I hope to see you some more in pickup games. So let's see.
Yeah, well,
Or maybe see you back in a fun tournament in Aka House.
oh yeah, whoa, that could be something.
Yeah.
I'm definitely up for
Cook
that.
something up. Cook something up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Um, Next one is from Datushka Airsoft.
Hmm.
Any plans to expand NSL to non-EU countries?
Well, I know that Daniel's from Kazakhstan. He visited us last year
Yeah.
on one of the cups. Um, the way an expansion works is like at the moment we cannot do what we did with America.
Mhm.
We cannot go there and do
Help
all the
you. Yeah.
work
Yeah.
and like establish it there. But we found a way to do that with South Africa, so they know what to do. Like they are guided by us, but they need to do that themselves.
Yeah.
And with that, I don't see any reason why not to. Like
Okay.
we want to talk with all countries, and obviously I'm in touch with him. And the moment you have a proper field, just reach out to me, and we will see what we can do, even if it's mid-season.
Okay. Let's go. Make Airsoft bigger.
Yes.
Go out of Europe. Let's go. Okay. And next one is from 916 May. What was the thinking process of making the new layout? All the questions of the layout. It's gonna be insane.
Yeah. So the thinking process was that the old one was very paintball inspired, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
And that one thing people loved, and obviously I like as well, that the snake battles, where you can set traps, and that wasn't really the case on the old layout from 24. So we wanted to bring that back and just make it a little bit more pistol favorable, I would
Yeah,
say. I mean, you
dominant.
still can obviously play with rifle, but
Yeah, definitely.
it is a very challenging form layout. And last year was very rifle dominant from my perspective. So it's just like, let's change some stuff up. And yeah, I also spoke with Bird and he had like an idea for the bunkers with the holes. So I
Mhm.
think that was cool and that was fitting on that layout. And I think the temple, that's how I call the new bunker. That's also a very cool idea. It's just we used the same bunker since BQB came over in 2019.
Yeah, you never switch to something special.
No, I think we had the cubes before in SpeedQB, but not in NSL, I believe.
No,
And
never in NSL.
the rest was there. Now this year we don't have a castle, and we have two new bunkers, and technically with the cube, three new bunkers.
No,
Um, it was just time to try something new, and maybe it
no,
will work out perfectly. Maybe they will disappear and never come back after
no.
this.
It's a nice try to change some things up. It's a nice layout. It's a place. Oh, it feels nice. To be honest, I like it. It's gonna be a nice thing, and
Yep.
even for rifles, it's just
Yeah, if you're a
no
good
fucks
player,
giving and just
yeah.
go.
I think if
So
you're a good player with a rifle, you can have a lot of fun on this layout.
yeah, definitely. Next question is from Hefe Airsoft. What would you prefer, AP1 or High Kappa?
Because if I ask, I have to say AAP. If Kyle asks, I have to say High Kappa. But I can get out
Personal
of there.
choice, Fives. Personal
Personal choice
choice.
M4. I'm out of the pistol
And
questions.
for pistols, come on. Personal
No,
preference.
well, I never had an AP. I had a high copper, but never for Speedsoft. Yeah, I literally never played pistol. Like I maybe played two times pistol, like once on an NSL field and like one or two times on a CQB field.
Okay.
Other than that, a pistol was always just a backup for me. I had a
Okay.
Glock and yeah, high copper then for my regular airsoft
Okay.
backup.
So we can actually only say High Kappa because you never used the AP1. Hefe, if you want a better choice,
Yeah.
you have to help this man. So
No, but AAPs, I think they have a lot of potential, and obviously speaking with Hefe a lot and meeting him quite some time last year, um, it's a very raw platform still,
mhm.
but it has a lot of um, potential to be a
It's
very good,
it's growing fast. It's
yeah,
growing
to be a
fast.
very, very competitive platform.
Hmm.
And I think one big advantage that I would like as an M4 player who is not used to recoil is that AP, if you build it right, has pretty much no recoil
Yeah.
because it's like built so different. So that's definitely a benefit that I could see from an AAP. And I think, and Hef is obviously the number one address to make those innovations, to like build on the platform and to maybe be where High Kappa is
Yeah.
now in a couple of years.
Okay. And actually, because you said no recall, something jumped in my head. Um, would you still allow the pistol kind M4
No,
platforms?
that
No.
will still not be allowed. The only
And
way,
even why it's not allowed, because actually it's counted as an M4.
yeah, so, well, it is allowed if it has a stock or tank grip,
Okay.
but then you pretty much have an M4. But if you have also normal stock, you can use it and it counts as an M4, and then it is allowed,
Okay,
and that
so
will
it
not
needs a
change.
stock or an air tank.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
like
So,
something to put in your shoulder
okay.
because it has
So,
no recoil. That makes it a rifle then.
yeah, okay. Okay, nice. Great answer. Next one is from Titi. How did you deal with all the hate towards you and the sport during the games?
Well, as I said, it was difficult, especially in globals. If I'm fully honest, I didn't enjoy globals that much because I
Okay.
got a lot of shit from pretty much every side. That's also one of the reasons I have to take a break. It's just in general, you need to build a thick skin for that. And I'm
Yeah.
not normally not a person that gets affected by that. And I have a very strong like I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
mentality. I mean, we also spoke about that um, before. Yeah, it's just don't let it get to you personally,
No,
and also
definitely.
enjoy the cool moments of it. I mean, parts of that I understand that it's sports, etc., and that it gets very emotional. Um, so just focus on the positive things. So, for
Yeah.
example, an after party like after a Nations Cup or Globals was an amazing after party. Everyone had
Mm.
a good time, and like these things, they make up for it.
Yeah, definitely. And even you sitting all day in the booth upstairs last year, you went outside and you started talking with everyone. So
Yeah,
once you
that's
are
even
once you're out of the booth, everyone is talking to you again.
yeah,
It's funny.
that's very hard.
So
And so it left some marks from last year for or from the last 2 years actually. And that's also why I said I need to like
take a
remove
break.
myself a little bit from that position and like put that task on multiple shoulders,
No, definitely.
and put it yeah in the end on the community.
Hmm.
Because also I still see my part see myself as part of the community. And a lot of people might forgot throughout last year that I was a player myself, that
Yeah.
I know exactly how it is when you shoot a BB. I know exactly how it is when you feel like, oh, that guy should have gotten a penalty. I hit him 100%, and or how it feels when you receive a penalty. Um, so I know that, and again, out of the love for the sport, I chose to stop playing it and going more into the organization. Now it
Yeah.
becomes my work. But still, it doesn't change the passion that I have for the sport, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense to dedicate so much time to that.
No, indeed. And yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful answer, Faiz. Um, Next one is from Amin. On what part of the NSL are you proud? And and what are things you would like to improve? So, what things are you proud of, and what you want to improve?
I think I'm proud of the entire NSL. Obviously, I mean, I just told you the full story how I
Hmm.
was pretty much there from the beginning when it became NSL, and that I put a lot of work in the last 2 years, and just
You
how the
really
tournaments
helped grow
flow.
yeah,
Yeah. Like within
just
the like obviously we have had some negative experiences, but that's obviously part of the learning curve. And
definitely.
we had so many positive things. And one thing to be proud of, I said it as well, like speaking about the prize money, yes, it would be nice, but still we have a community which travels the world for NSL
Yeah.
without the chance of actually winning anything because
Yeah.
the first place doesn't get prize money. That makes me proud because it proves that we have a super
People love to play it.
format, that we are very organized. It can always be better. And again, I was a player myself, and I said I will or I want to make it better. Um, but yeah, also the reffing overall, the VAR is not something that everyone has. And I think we are very spoiled with Real Strike, with Extreme, with SEA, um, with the quality that NSL brought to the competitive scene. So
Yeah.
that is definitely something that I'm proud of.
So you really made already a far um yeah, far place with NSL starting like 3 years ago, and standing here right now, already in USA, South Africa, and Europe. So yeah, nice job. My last two questions are from the same person, from
Hmm.
Tristan Abstract.
Shout out to
Um,
Tristan.
Shout out to Tristan.
He's definitely before you go into that, he's definitely one of my favorite players to watch. I only played him once in a not even game. It was just like shooting some BBs
Yeah.
when I was there at Extreme for the first time in 23,
Hmm.
and he outplayed me. And by doing so, like I immediately know this guy has everything that it takes for being the best.
Yeah.
And I think he had one of the best years you could ask for last year.
Definitely.
And
He
he's
really
still kind of
won.
young. He's
Uh,
still kind of young, and he's just crazy. Like he has gold potential.
yeah,
Let's put it like
definitely.
that. If he keeps it up, then he's definitely a guy
He's
that
gonna
you want
make
to
it far.
have on your team rather than playing against him
No, definitely. And it's funny you saying this because his first question was, who are the top five NSL players of all time?
of all time. Um, that's a difficult question.
You can you can choose, or you divide it by M4 or pistol,
No,
or you take complete.
I would combine them. Um, because for me, GOAT is like winning titles, carrying your team, or making crazy moves and be there consistently.
Yeah,
And winning something in 22 doesn't compare to winning something in 24, and winning something in 25 is like the level is only getting higher, so it's difficult.
yeah.
But well,
So
people that are, well, that's I don't want to miss out on someone.
you can just say them as five. You don't need to rank them by number. Five.
So Tristan would be definitely in there.
There's one,
Cringe would be definitely in there.
two,
I have to put Junkie in there, out of
three.
respect. Um, Pistol player. Let's pick two pistol players that have a huge impact.
If I can, if you're talking about pistols, the only one who jumps in my mind every time, who is the goat of pistols, is Rebel. He's the
Yeah,
best.
I
He's
agree. He was also always my nemesis. Like he always shot me out. Like I fucking hated it. Um,
so four.
yeah, I would put him in definitely. And let me quickly go through the teams. And it's difficult because I tend to pick rifle players because usually they,
Do the most.
yeah, they no, they do the most. I agree, but no, but they tend to be the last guy alive or
Yeah,
making those clutch plays because the pistol player is always more aggressive and has a higher chance of getting shot out. But without them, obviously, you cannot do that. Um, I probably would pick Gray,
yeah.
just
As a
because
pistol player, definitely.
yeah,
He's really
because he
key
is
player.
yeah, he's so impactful with his flag runs,
Yeah,
and he's also an
definitely.
amazing shooter. He's a very good athlete. He's so fucking fast.
It's
So yeah,
insane.
I would pick
Okay.
those five
Damn.
guys.
Okay. I can agree with this five for real. So Tristan, Cringe, Junkie,
Junkie, Rebel, and Gray.
Rebel, and Gray, definitely.
Well,
Um,
if you put them on the field now, that you would have a
Mastermind.
yeah mastermind team.
Yeah, definitely. And his last question is, what was your main goal you wanted to achieve with the 25 layout?
Well, as I said already, to make a different snake,
Yeah.
to have those different routes you can take in a snake, and technically you can even go to the fifth, like in the middle of the field, not the 50 line vertically, but like horizontally,
Hmm.
like the middle point where like in a capture the flag format the flag would be. Like this is almost now where the U is with the Dorito. Like you can
Yeah.
almost reach that from snake with like being low.
Hmm.
Um, so that was definitely on my mind. Um, yeah, just to switch things up, to have new bunkers in there, just to
Hmm.
give everyone a new experience. Like no one at this point really knows how the bunkers with the hole will play out.
No, definitely.
Um,
It's
no
it's
one,
it's it's a complete strange field. It's not that easy to play on,
yeah,
and it's not a typical 2024 layout.
no, it's and yeah, well, to give teams a reason to
And
train
yeah, and improve.
and improve, because now they gonna be challenged on stuff they got away with maybe the last year, and that goes yeah for everything. So
It gives
I
a
think
different
these,
diversity.
yep, I think these were the goals with that layout.
Okay, now, one last question I have for you, Fives, because we are talking about layout.
Yeah.
Knowing the 50 is stacked, can you maybe explain me how refs will be roughing on the 50? Because I think on the 50 will be a lot of fights and difficult lines to see or to not expose the player on the 50. Is there any idea how you can
Yeah,
prevent this?
we have an idea to put two refs on the, or one or two refs, we have to see how that goes, on the temple,
Yeah.
so that you
Okay.
can have an overlook from above.
And people just watching down on the
Yes.
Dorito or on the
Because
snake.
from there you can watch into the U. Of course, you're gonna get blind spots, but that is just in the nature of the of
Yeah.
a layout. But I think from upstairs there you can cover a lot without having the issue that you need to move through obstacles or stand
No.
in a lane.
And I think people are not going to jump shot over the temple.
No, and well, if so, then they shoot in a ref.
Yeah.
So it's just what it is. Like
Okay.
at some
No.
point you have to make a sacrifice. Yeah.
No, it's already an improvement because that was one of the first things all the pro teams told the 50 that it was stacked. It was my last question. I was thinking about because it's a very important one. Otherwise, people can get away with yeah sneaky things on the 50, and yeah,
Oh
this is
yeah,
very
of course we
important.
need to have some eyes on them there.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I'm done. I'm out of questions. I still have some time for you. If you want to do some shout outs, do it right now. The camera is yours.
All right.
Say it, my man.
First, thank you, Musha, for having me.
No
And
problem.
thank you for doing that podcast. As I said, like it was time that someone did it, and I hope maybe it inspires even more people to do so. And or whatever it might be. We need more content out there. We need more people connecting to yeah, new potential players, to the community out there. So this is amazing. I
Thank you,
hope you
Fives. Thank you.
I hope you can keep this up, because I can definitely see you going a long way with that, because I see no reason why not. And then other than that, I yeah, first of all want to thank everyone who supports me and who's next, because we spoke about that. I definitely have more stuff coming very soon. And then lastly, speaking with my NSL hat on, thanks to all the players for last year. Thank you for already buying some tickets and being interested in this year. I think we're gonna have an amazing year, make amazing events. And also, lastly, shout out to all the sponsors. We're gonna announce them.
Soon.
Especially, I have to say, well, I can already say that High Kappa Hub and Heffe, they will be back, and obviously special shout out again to More Customs because they are our biggest sponsor and will be also for this year. And all the other brands, they will follow very soon, and we make some announcements. And
Okay. Can we expect some new sponsors?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited for it. I think with this year we had like a good diversity of all kind of sponsors. Carbon is right now also one of the biggest
Oh yeah,
paintball
they will.
teams, paintball brands who's involved with the whole NSL.
Yeah, Carbon is
So
also like such a nice company to work with. I have a very good relation with Walker. I hope that he can make it. So Walker, if you hear this, you definitely have to make it for Nations Cup. You all can message the Carbon side that they need to come to Nations Cup. They will be back. We're just working out the details. So it's yeah, very nice to work with them.
yeah, Walker,
And
whole Carbon community, the whole team,
yep.
even Walker, they are so great guys. They help us so much. They really want to improve in NSL. So Walker, I went 3 times to USA. You were never there. Come on, come to Nations Cup.
Yeah,
Well,
you
what are
have
you
to.
waiting for? So
But yeah, we will have some new companies and obviously a lot of returning companies from
okay,
last year.
nice. Let's. I'm excited. Um, As that said, Fives, where can people follow you? Where can they find who's next? If brands are interested in becoming a partner with NSL, tell me.
Yeah, well for you can find me as Fivves.05 with 2 V's on Instagram. You can find me on Who's Next C on Instagram and who's next c.com is my homepage. And NSL, you can write me also just a DM or you write me an email, aaron@nsl-sports.com. Can reach out and I will reply as fast as I can.
Grow NSL, grow Airsoft, guys.
Yes.
Fives, with this said, for me, it was a very amazing episode, Fives. Thank you for coming by. It was a pleasure to have you here and sit down with you. I heard a lot. Like I said in the beginning, we had a good year behind us. I experienced you on another way, and it gained more respect towards you. And I think you experienced this too. Yeah, no, it was grateful to have you, Fives. I hope 2025 is going to be a good year. Finally, maybe Hakai will get gold.
No, we will see. I mean,
We'll see.
you guys are definitely putting in the work
Yeah,
and
we are hungry. Let's say we are hungry. So
yep.
let's see what we can do. No, Fives, last time, thank you so much for coming by.